great time it is to really herald someone that we've now sadly missed over the last couple of weeks. A little while ago, Terry O'Shea, who was known to most people at this fantastic circuit and throughout, I suppose, Speedway in Queensland, lost a long battle and has gone to supervise a lot more motor racing than what we're going to see here on our earthly shores. He was one of the stalwarts of the Sunshine Coast Club. He raced on and off for many years, and he was really, I suppose, a guiding light in many people's careers, and most of those sitting up there, the 5 cars sitting at the head of the pack up there. He was only too quick to lend a hand and to give thoughtless service to anybody who asked him, and the last thing he wanted to do was, he didn't need thanks for any of it. And it's at times like this that we really take the time to, in fact, pay special tribute to a man that really has been instrumental in so many careers here and throughout Queensland. If we could please have a minute's silence for Terry O'Shea. Well, thanks very much, folks. The last thing he would want to do is hold up a night of fantastic motorsport. And Rhino, I've got to tell you, we have got two
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night's feature race.
40 laps, unbelievably fast and furious 40 laps here of, well, you can't say full methanol madness, but there's going to be plenty out here, that's for sure. And I've been looking forward to this event for some weeks. I've got to say that you can't ask for any better field than we physically got now. And mate, have a look at the competitive strength. We've got New South Wales #1, Queensland #1, I suppose Australia #1 at the same time, multiple state champions, and we've got former Queensland champions here by the bucket loads. We've got plenty.
Yeah, that's right. What a field of cars, folks. Modified production racing at its best. Here at Mother Mountain Speedway this weekend, brought to you by Defence Jobs. Make sure you go over and see the guys. Oh, what a sight it is. And kids, how about you stand up and give all your favourite drivers a wave as they roll past. A fantastic field it is. Here for 2 massive nights here at Mother Mountain. And if you can't get enough of modified production racing this weekend, the Raw Sausage Dash for Cash at Maryborough Speedway next weekend, June 16. We will have a similar quantity of drivers and quantity. So that's next Saturday night, a big demolition derby at Maryborough next weekend also.
There's a lot of pressure on this racetrack. I've talked to many people, and that hairpin is going to be where the action's going to be. It's where the races are going to be won and lost.
Yeah, that's right. Like you look through the program, and the draws are just, every heat race has just got so much quality in it, and it's hard to pick a winner just in every heat race, let alone trying to pick one for the weekend. It was a fantastic night last night for those that were here with the practice in the Calcutta. The Cancer for Kids was, we were raising money for that, and the Children's Hospital.
Welcome to the 2007 Queensland Modified Production title here at Mother Mountain. Brought to us this weekend by Defence Jobs. Joining me as you will be all weekend, Big Rhino. Rhino, we could not have asked for a better weekend. The rain's dissipated, the track's in fantastic nick, and we've not only got New South Wales #1 and Michael Halley here, but Australian #1. It's his home track, and of course we're talking about Todd Doyle.
Oh, absolutely looking forward to it, Wes, and I tell you what, can't take anything away by the green team. Greg Raymond, the king of this place.
He really is the king of the ring here at Mother Mountain, but the 2 young boys have been really putting pressure on that title for him over the last couple of years since they've stepped up in modified production. They really are the dominant team here this weekend.
Absolutely. Aiden's been unstoppable this season here. Mark's had a few engine troubles, but that Cortina was quick last night.
And talking about Aiden, of course, in practice, we were talking about how he's been a little unlucky over the little while. The Australian title, probably the unluckiest Queenslander to go down. He really is one of the guys going to have to watch this weekend. So is, of course, young Craig Mellor, a guy that really has a lot of potential. And this track's going to let that Commodore really have its head.
There's no doubt about it. He's always quick around this place. He's got a great car, strong engine, and I think it will feature somewhere around the pointy end at the end of the weekend.
Talking about cars that are a little bit different this weekend. In fact, we're seeing the return back to modified production to Steve Jordan, just a guest drive this weekend. It's one of those things that was organised probably in the last few weeks.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's great to see the Joker Jordan here in the modified productions again. And I don't know, I can expect to see him running pretty strongly this weekend with his experience.
One driver that we know a lot about is Daryl Etherton, of course, the money man here this weekend, and running a modified production once again. It has to be a Ford.
Yeah, that's right. That Cortina's quick. He talks about himself being at 100 to 1 to win this thing, but I tell you what, I'd like to have some money at that odds.
Well, talking about that, we did the Calcutta last night. Some very interesting people bought for big money last night, and a lot of people take the odds on the last place to take the, I suppose, the checkered flag at the end of the night. That really is, I suppose, one of those novel bets that everybody was hedging their wagers on last night.
Yeah, that's right. The money man bought a few actually for $15 at steep price. Bought a couple $5. Nothing wrong with that. It's good fun.
Well, talking about good fun, we have got 2 great nights of action coming your way. All you've got to do is sit back, relax. The action's coming your way right now. Last night's Calcutta really proved that the top money was going to be on this man. Australia won and reigning Queensland won. Todd, first of all, congratulations on Australia won. A lifelong ambition for both you and Mr. Rakow.
Yeah, that's certainly right, and I would never have done it without the Rackos helping me out because I could never have the budget to do it properly, so no, it was really good.
Got to be happy with your season so far. The car's been lightning fast everywhere it's gone, and here you really hold, no one holds a candle to you so fast. But once again, Team Green this weekend and the Ford boys, definitely the advantage of the 6 cylinders down out of the bottom. They do have the pull out of the top, but quietly in your eyes, I can see that that's not the case.
What we did was we had a lot of trouble here with this car, so we just changed the camshaft and it's 100% better. And also Brian Leroy and Ray's pit crew guy sort of put their setup in my car, and it's just a different car. It's really, really good now, I think.
What is the key to a fast lap here? Is it just a case of keeping the momentum going with as little, I suppose, braking as you can down the bottom, or is it just a case of trying to get to the hairpin as smoothly as you can?
I think from the hairpin to the bottom pit gate's probably the most important part of the whole track, so if you get that right, you're pretty quick everywhere.
It's a case of getting it hooked up and getting the power down to the ground, not buzzing the rears?
Yeah, exactly right. It's a lot of throttle control and just, trying to be straight, I suppose.
Now this year, of course, the Australia title was one of those, from most people, the highlight of their racing calendar. That those 15 laps that yourself and everybody traded places was an amazing time. Do you expect the same thing here this weekend? Is it going to be as tight a struggle up the front as people are making out it's going to be?
Oh, definitely will, but just this place, when it goes slick, it'll probably go a little bit single lane, and I think if the guy that's in front uses his head, he'll probably stay there. So, if someone like Aiden gets in front, he'll probably stay there. So that's just probably the way it is.
Well, mate, best of luck this weekend. I won't say any more than that because you've really made your own luck this year. And once again, congratulations on the Australian title.
Yeah, thanks very much.
We thought we'd talk you around this Mother Mountain circuit, and what better man to tell us is, of course, Gary Pagel. Gary, I must say, this is probably the most unusual circuit in Australia in the fact that it goes uphill, it goes downhill, it turns right, it turns left, and it's got a hairpin. It really is quite unusual.
A lot of people think that. I tend to think otherwise. Probably grew up here, it's a bit easier for me, but yeah, a lot of people have a lot of trouble with the place.
Now, of course, let's take a lap in. If we start at the start-finish line, immediately you hit that, you're turning left and looking towards a series of, I suppose, left-handers right coming up into what's called Pagel Corner.
Well, you come through, as you go past the start-finish line, you roll off the throttle, but you don't actually back right out of it. You just crack the throttle back, take some revs out of the car, and then it's just one corner until you actually get it through Canning Corner and Pagels. People say the biggest mistake they make, they try to make it 2 corners, and you've got to keep the car flowing until you actually get it out of the top corner. Otherwise, it's all messy.
And then we go down the back straight. Not only have you got to set the car up, from there you've actually got to try to really lean the car to one way, then try and stop it down the bottom.
If you get a decent line off the top corner, there is no right-hand turn. They believe there is, but you can get a straight line from there if you get it in and out of the top corner properly. And yeah, and then you've got to pick your markers on your brakes, and if you don't stop it properly, you're in all sorts of trouble.
And of course the hairpin bend. Now that really has set the world alight when people have come here. They've gone, first of all, they come in the spectator entrance and they go, oh hell, it does turn right. And it has got a sharp hairpin.
You've got to not attack the hairpin as much as people think. A lot of people rush in there and then jab the brakes at the very last minute, kick the car sideways, and then it's all too late. The car's still carrying too much speed. You've got to get on the brake early, get the car set flat and slightly starting to go to the left, and then start picking the throttle up actually before you get into the hairpin. If you don't, you've missed it.
Well, I know I'm going to ask you a very loaded question here, and I know what I think I know what your answer is going to be. Ford or Holden, what has the advantage here?
Actually, I'd have to admit the Fords have got advantage because they got the torque to pull out of the corners, because I've jumped in a couple of Fords around here and I'm thinking, why don't these guys blow our doors off in our Holdens? But they get out of the hairpin quicker, but we can get through the corners, mid-corner quicker than they can, so it evens itself out.
Well, you now know what it's like to pilot a car around the Mother Mountain Speedway. It is really one of the most entertaining tracks in Queensland. There's a lot more racing coming your way. One of the cool drivers here this weekend who has a big chance of winning this title, of course, is Darren Brims. Darren, I've got to tell you, after winning a Queensland Street Sedan title twice, your track knowledge here at this, well, I suppose, unusually shaped circuit and design circuit really is going to be some advantage to you this weekend.
Yeah, mate, it's a great circuit though. You know, like you got to really clip your balls on going down the hill, and you got to have faith. Faith the car will stop. One year it didn't on me, and we actually wrecked the whole car and come back the year after and come second. And then we had our 2 wins. So I mean, this is like my second home. Good track, good challenge. Looking forward to it.
Last night's practice, a couple of little incidents, of course, had a bit of a mishandling motor car and found out something as simple as a bolt out of the K-frame disappeared and gone. Don't know how it happened.
Yeah, mate, it's the same thing that happens when you're, you know, the car's actually towing, do more movement than they do racing. So it's just one of those things. And we had that in small misfire, so we fixed them last night and be all good today.
Is there a lot of pressure on you prior to an event as far as preparing the car yourself and doing it? Does that take a lot of the nerves away prior to coming into an event of this size?
Yeah, mate, the best thing about here, you know, we're sort of like an underdog and no one talks about us, which is really good because, you know, the engine's only had half a meeting. We blew one up here at the start of the season, so the car itself, though, does take a lot of time to prepare them and sort of been very busy at work too, so we've had to been working a graveyard shift on it.
All right, best of luck this weekend, and hope to see you somewhere right near the front when it comes time to finals time.
I definitely don't count us out. Last year we started at 13, come home second, so we'll give it a go.
Darren Bream is one of the guys we definitely have to watch this weekend. Thanks, mate. Have I? Who's from? Good on you, Fred. Did you do? Oh, we can edit that. Current New South Wales #1 is Michael Halley, and Michael, the one thing you want is to get rid of that NS1 and put a Q1 on the side. I know how much you've tried over the last few years.
Yeah, that's right, Wes. It's one of the hardest things to do. You need a lot of luck, and why not come to Gympie, one of the fastest tracks in the country, and race the fastest drivers to try and do it.
Well, that's exactly right. When you think about it, you've got Australia 1 here this weekend, you're New South Wales #1, and some of the guys that really was so competitive down at the Australian title are here as well. It really is going to be one of those great events over 2 days. You couldn't ask for a bit of, maybe a better last swan song. I know there's a bit of news in the wind, but we'll talk more about that possibly later.
Yeah, that's right. This will be our last run. We didn't announce it after winning the HDS series this year, but one more last thing. It rained this week. We didn't nominate, and the rain come down. I thought, why not have one more throw at it? And this will be it. Hanging the modified production belt up, and we're definitely going super to the end. The car's nearly finished, but we're looking forward for a good weekend, and hopefully luck will be on our side.
Well, wouldn't it be nice to be able to take Q1 away again just for one last time? Because it's been very, 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 very good old girl, this car of yours. As the wind picks up a little bit more here at Mother Mountain, we really couldn't ask for more out of this old car. She has been a very reliable Trojan.
Well, to be honest, Wes, it's not that old, this car. It's only it's only second season, so it was a winning car from word go. The first race it was in was the New South Wales title, and it won that. And then we took it to a few meetings after that. It won its first 4 races, so it was quick. We took it to Bundaberg after that. We had a shock absorber problem, it wouldn't steer. Bundaberg last year, Queensland title, was not good for us, but we ironed those problems out. We went through the season, achieved the goals of winning the series, took it down to Nowra, qualified pole, and we slipped back in the field and come back through to win that New South Wales title for the second year in a row. And winning the Queensland title this year will be one awesome thing that I'd like to do.
Put that Q1 on the side of the car just for the first and only time in modified production. Mate, I hope that's going to be a dream come true for you.
Thanks, Wes. Thanks very much.
Out of position number 5 is the car of Gavin Fletcher. Out of 6 is car number 29. Of course, that's the car of Greg Raymond. Out of position number 7, out of 7 again. So Gavin Fletcher comes forward to his original position. All right. Waiting for the lights to go out. Still yellows flashing on the main straight. We'll get these guys gridded up and get them ready to go. But have a look at this. One very lonely Holden in the field, and just to make it interesting, let's throw in a Mazda RX-7 just for good measure.
There's some quality amongst it. Like every field, I think we might be going this time. Wes, down to you, mate.
I think we're right. We are going to go very, very shortly. Grid just being sorted. Yellow lights around. The first of many laps of some great modified production action. Brim's on the front row. Grother on the outside. Niesler. And Gavin Fletcher out of the second row. Green light's about to come on. Green light's on. Brims leads it through. Grother. There goes Fletcher. Lock and Michael Halley. Halley sliding through on Niesler. Here comes Raymond. Greg Raymond, the green machine. Contact at the back. Niesler's car's come to a stop at the back of the rest of the field. Start to go through. Pricey's got a problem back on the gas. Stevie Jordan running the rear. Have a look at Gavin Fletcher. All over the rear. Yellow lights, come on. And Daryl Niesler pulls it up. Whoa. Hasn't Gavin Fletcher served notice he's here?
You get all the help you need. It's just Queensland title to do what you have to do, Wes.
Exactly right. As Glenn Pagel said, I'm not here to do anything else but win. All right, Brims and Grother go at it from the front again. Green lights on. Brims and Grother side by side in the top. Look at Fletcher and Raymond. Raymond turns it in on the top line of Pagel. Raymond, look at this three-way down the bottom, down on the inside. Oh, contact. Fletcher into it down the bottom. Around goes Brims. Cars everywhere. And heavy contact between Brims and the car. Halley down the bottom. All right, where did they ever think 3 was ever going to fit into the bottom there?
And the race leader running out the front. Wouldn't have known what happened when 3 cars just bomb dived into there.
So I don't know what he wants to do. He can run round to the back and just get some points here. Or park it up, but Michael Halley's going to come to the front. Fletcher's gone to the rear. And Daryl out front. Halley doing the chasing. Have a look at the Gagler cast. Oh, problems for Grother. Halley slid through. Here comes Greg Raymond. Deep into the braking area. The hairpin, Halley and Raymond side by side. It's a drag race. Halley and Raymond. Greg Raymond gets the drive. Yellow lights are on. He really has been dominant in this heat every time he's come through. And will he do exactly the same thing again? Growth will lead us away. Single lane start. They all line up one behind each other, green line. Daryl Etherton, Michael Halley, Greg Raymond. Oh, look at the passing move then from Gavin Fletcher on the inside of the Joker, Stevie Jordan. Raymond looking for a line up the inside. Halley and him go toe. And now, look at Gavin Fletcher. And the Joker, Stevie Jordan, side by side around the top of Pagel. Oh, Growth has gone defensive. Halley's on the outside. Now comes Raymond back on the inside. Oh, Growth goes wide. And Greg Raymond slips into the lead. Raymond out in front, the Carroy Auto Wreckers. Falcon looking very, very quick as Grother now does the chasing. Morosky sits back in third. And problems for Michael Halley as that car is just misfiring terribly. Look at the battle. Stevie Jordan now trying to find a way underneath Steve Price. But once again, it is the flying leader of the green team, Greg Raymond, with the AAA towing car of Dale Grother chasing him down. Morosky, the Beanley Exhaust Centre Mazda RX-7 has started to come into its own. And the 5-breather little rotary is really starting to hum along. Brimsey keeps up out of harm's way. And Morosky is starting to close the gap between him and Daryl Grother. We talked earlier about the track coming to the rotary, and it looks like it's doing exactly that. Morosky on the loud pedal. He's got his foot right in the bucket of the little RX-7, and he's closed that gap considerably between him and Dale Grother. Raymond's out front. He's a happy man. He's settled the car to a rhythm. And that were problems for Gavin Fletcher. He's around with the hairpin. Yellow lights come on. And Gavin Fletcher's around. Michael Halley, the misfire in the New South Wales 1 car.
We'll come back out next time.
It's a lot of hard work. You've done a lot of work trying to get it ready. And that's exactly what's going to go on. Green light coming on. Raymond takes the green. Dale Grother chasing him down. Morosky. Gavin Fletcher now trying to find a way underneath Steve Price. Oh, Grother found a bit more speed. Oh, here comes Gavin Fletcher. Grother on the inside of Greg Raymond. They are really starting to get the motor on. Look at Morosky. Flames belch from the RX-7 in Pagel corner. The pace into the hairpin. Once again, Greg Raymond with 1 lap left to travel. It's got Dale Grother covered at this stage. Grother, one last roll of the dice. Look at the speed through Pagel corner for the AAA towing car of Dale Grother. But maybe all too late. Raymond out of the hairpin. Checker in the starter's hands. Raymond takes the first heat win. Grother in for second. Third place to Morosky. And once again, Stevie Price comes home in fourth. Gavin Fletcher's going to come round from some starting points, some rear end damage to that car. A right hand tyre gone down. I'll have a quick word to him. Our winner, the captain of Team Green. Greg Gray win from position 6. That's going to put a very good start to your night.
Yeah, I thought we were going shopping there for a minute.
Thought we were going shopping. Good on him. Once again, he just lets his driving do the talking, and really just cannot ask for a
Well, this
a
fine
better
car
pedal
here
around
is
here.
part of the Wildfire Racing crew, and now the driver with that crew is Stephen Downs. Stephen, of course, all the way from Lismore this weekend to come and compete in the Queensland title, but really you spent so much time in Queensland, we nearly sort of adopted you nowadays.
Yeah, well, I originally come from Queensland, so I do enjoy the racing's really fierce, as you know, at home. The guys don't like to travel. I like to travel, have a good time with a good weekend with all the boys and catch up with everybody. And yeah, so, and I like this place. I've had a bit of a good run here last time. Unfortunately, we broke something and went in the wall, and we're running up as high as fourth in this round of the series. So yeah, you got to be in it to have a go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this weekend.
It really is the home of the Ford here too, with the King of Ring being the Raymonts. But it's a case of the horsepower needed to get out of the bottom turn. That's where the Fords have some advantage over the Commodores.
Yeah, that's correct. We've changed it a bit for this weekend. We've got a different cam in it. Last night felt really good, so we'll just see what played by the night and see how it goes.
Talking about that, the subtle changes, do you make very, very many changes to your car to suit this very unusual shaped circuit?
Not really, just to make sure you got good brakes. It's the only thing I've ever sort of changed with the car here, and apart from that, it's pretty well the same everywhere else. So, yeah, no, at this stage I'm looking happy, so, yeah.
Looking happy. Well, the only thing going to be slowing him down this weekend is going to be his brakes, as he said, out here on the racetrack. One car to watch is Stephen Downs. Two guys that are friends off and on track are, of course, Rodney Pimenta and Shane Mcdonald. Well, first of all, Rocket, you've had a fairly up and down season so far, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. We've seen the undercarriage of that car far too many times the last 12 months.
Oh, no, that's not a good thing, is it? Oh, well, hopefully we can turn around tonight and have a bit of fun and go well.
You really, well, that's exactly right. Go Toowoomba. You really have been, yourself and Shane, two of the dominant cars in modified productions in Queensland so far this year. You've got to be happy with the way the car's running at least.
Yeah, no, these cars have been going well, and there's some others coming through, and Toowoomba's about to really take off with production. And yeah, there's bigger and better things coming, so it's going to be great.
Now, Shane, last year's Queensland title, seriously, that was one of the most heartbreaking moments that I've seen in a long time in motorsport.
Yeah, to break an axle with only a couple laps to go was quite disappointing, but done a lot of changes to it to hopefully prevent that from happening again.
You've got to be, look, in all honesty, you have been one of the new finds to this category, and everybody is talking about it. Does that put any more pressure on you when you're racing?
Oh, no, I don't take much notice of all that sort of stuff. I just mind my own business and get on with the job.
Well, two of the very casual boys here this weekend, but I'll tell you now, once they get trackside, there's going to be nothing casual about the way they drive.
This weekend.
I think realistically, if your car's painted green, you're a chance.
That's right. That is exactly right.
Oh, they're going to line up. It's Shane McDonald on the front row, out of pole. On the outside, him, Stephen Downs. Irwin comes out of position in number 3. On the outside of him is the money man. Car number 12, and I'm talking about Daryl Etherton. Troy Ware comes out of 5. On the outside of him is Chucky Garrett. Queensland 1, Australia 1. Todd Doyle lines out at position 7-8. Raymond beside him. I've got to tell you, car number 17 lining up there is Tom Johnson. The Hydrolink Falcon comes off the rear. All right. Green light will be on. The light of this time. McDonald lights it up. Green light on to Stephen Downs and no drive on the outside. Irwin up on the inside of Downs. Look at the money man. The boundary rider on the outside. Daryl Etherton down the outside. Deep into the hairpin. They all start to stack up. Right in the middle, here comes Tony Doyle. Doyle sticks to the outside line, inside, but it's Mcdonald out front. Look at Doyle in traffic. Tookie Garrett's coming through Raymond. As well, Garrett's down the outside. Oh, I tell you what. Stephen Downs under siege. 3 wide on the main straight. Raymond gets off the gas, settles the car down underneath Earl and his light. Here comes Todd Doyle in the inside of Daryl Etherton, Troy Ware. Oh, Etherton got that all wrong, got it all crossed up. And Etherton's car's come to a stop and gets it fired up again. Oh, look at the contact, Stephen Downs. And the car of Raymond now sets him up for the inside pass. Does that, and now Raymond is out on the chase. But as anybody told Mcdonald, the Toddy Doyle is coming. The Track World sponsored Oh, Commodore Australia #1 is on the fly. Mcdonald out front. Doyle in second, Ware in third. Here comes Raymond, he's sitting back and forth. And once again, McDonald's got that car bouncing off the rev limiter. Down the back straight, and Doyle visibly closes that gap between him and McDonald. And with the lap starting to count down, these guys are going to know all about it. Oh, problems. Etherton's car falling back into the clutches of Johnson. But it is our race leader, who is now under siege. McDonald will start to feel the pressure from Todd Doyle. Doyle up on the inside of drag race. Doyle into the lead. Australia #1, Queensland #1. Oh, Tookie Garrett has done a right-hand rear tyre. Oh, McDonald back on the inside. Shane McDonald serving notice that he is not going to be intimidated. And Doyle is on the look at the pace of that car up the hill. Oh, McDonald got it all wrong. Doyle forces the issue. And McDonald's got it all to do. Look at this protest flag being shown to Todd Doyle. 1 lap remaining. Doyle out in front, the Queensland 1, Australia 1 Trackwell engineering car of Todd Doyle will take his first heat win here today. Second place to McDonald, and third place back to Aidan Raymond. Stephen Downs comes home. The rest of the field will roll around to come and take the checkered flag. Oh. Take the opportunity to have a chat to him. Well, he really has one of those dominant years. Great result. He wasn't going to let you have that easily at all.
No, it was a bit rude, but anyway, he didn't even caution, so I don't know what's going on up the tower.
Well, Todd always speaks his mind.
One of the most professional outfits here this weekend, of course, is Stephen Zahle. And Stephen, we know how hard this track is for most people to get a grip on, but you've been spending a lot of time here of recent time trying to do exactly that.
Yeah, we've been coming down here every race meeting when they got us on and that. We've just been trying to sort the car out, try and get it to work here because it's not a conventional oval track. And yeah, every time we're coming down, we're making little changes and slowly getting there. Last night at practice, I think the car was the best it's probably ever been here. So we're starting to head in the right direction, which is very encouraging.
Is it the change of direction over the back on the long back straight? Does that cause the major drama? Because you're really setting the car up to try and turn the opposite way to which way it's wanting to head down the hill.
Yeah, well, on a normal oval track, you got more or less like a U shape on the ends, whereas here you got a really tight corner down the bottom, a bit more of a different corner up the top there, a bit more longer of a sweeper. Plus, you got the change of direction going in the back straight. So it's a bit more working out on the car.
I suppose you've never had to hit the brakes as hard either on a racetrack like you do here. That bottom hairpin really sorts the men from the boys, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's throwing out the anchor down there. No, it's
really on the brakes down there. That's the hardest part. Yeah.
And of course, horsepower being the key, and of course yours with the newer generation Holden V6, and of course you're fighting some of the cars with the 3.8 litre. So a lot of guys are saying that that's an advantage you've got in the rev factor running around the top, but you mightn't have the torque out of the bottom. Last night's practice, you definitely have the torque out of the bottom.
Yeah, we've made a few changes in that, and we're starting to get on top of it, but still a lot of trial and error with this motor because it's only new in that. There's not a lot of people that know anything about them, so we're still mucking around, but the potential's there in this motor.
Well, I tell you what, potential is definitely what we've got. Stephen Zahle, one of the more professional guys here this weekend. Watch out for him through tonight's heats.
Slowing the pace down. So it should be Hussey on the front row. Beside him is the car Royce Ernst. Then we go back to the car of Neil Coomber, Tischler, Zahle, Raymond, Thompson, Shallcross, and of course Shane Reynolds rounding out the rear. Looking for the green. Oh, Hussey got a good line out of the bottom. Cars going everywhere. Johnny Tischler. Have a look at Shallcross trying to find room, and Raymond now slides up as well. Thompson, the best out of a lot of that. And Raymond, look at Zahle. He is under siege from Team Green at the back. Well, Thompson not a member of it, but once again, the Green Fire Brigade. Take everybody out and look at Mark Raymond. He really got superb drive out of the hairpin, and Raymond goes topside. Looking to come back on the inside of Stephen Zahle. He does. Cooper's his next target. And Raymond now has got the line on the inside. The Corroy Auto Wreckers. Cortina and Mark Raymond comes from well at the back and into third in 2 laps. Raymond is the flyer. And once again, Hussey's got it all to do out front. Paul Hussey being chased by Royce Ernst. Then go back to Raymond. Neil Cooper, Stephen Zahle, Stevie Thompson, Dennis Shallcross, Tischler, and Reynolds. Oh, I'll tell you what. Around goes Royce Ernst. And Ernst comes back on. Well, that's left the car of Raymond on his own in second, and he has got a Hussey in his sights. Stephen Zahle's worked on this engine. They're very happy with the setup. Zahle brings this Commodore here with big expectations this weekend. Oh, Cooper waves bolts from the side of the AU Falcons to make the run up. Look at Zahle trying to find a way up the inside. Cooper gets to the loop. Shallcross to the outside of Thompson. And Dennis Shallcross trying to pull a move on the outside of Stevie Thompson. No rumours have made the way to the hairpin. But look, oh, Shallcross into the boards. Beat contact of the wall. But Raymond has just been picking away at this gap between him and Hussey. And with the lap starting to run down, Raymond has got it all to do. Oh, Tischler's on the infield. No more will he compete. And once again, Royce Ernst coming back through the field. The battle is up front, and Raymond is now onto the rear of the Speedway engineering car of Paul Hussey. They are flying. Look at Raymond, got a good run out of Pagel. Raymond and Hussey side by side in the hairpin. Raymond deep on the brakes. Hussey yields Raymond into the lead. 1 lap left to travel. And Raymond's out front. Look at Stephen Thompson on the outside of Zahle. They are fighting up away with the rear of the field. But it is checkered flag time. Mark Raymond takes the win. Second place to Paul Hussey. Third, Coomber deep into the braking area. Oh, round goes Royce Ernst. But Coomber will take third. Thompson over fourth. Zahle fifth. Well, put your hands together for him. one of the team green here this weekend. Mark Raymond takes the win.
Hey Wes, I bought him in the Calcutta UVOT.
Oh, Mark, I'll tell you what, if you've made anyone happy tonight, it's Big Rhino up there. He owned you in the Calcutta last night. He's a very happy man right now.
I thought I'd have to give him his $50 back, but he might keep that, and a little bit more, hopefully.
Mate, congratulations, great hit. I know you guys are trying to turn these cars around as quick as you can. But Rhino, that was probably the best $50 you've ever spent last night.
Well, a name synonymous with the Mother Mountain Circuit is Pagel, and joining me now is Glenn Pagel. And Glenn, I've got to say, a little bit of pressure on you this weekend, and I didn't want to bring that up again, but you really are one of the form drivers here, and a lot of people have thought, well, you are the big chance.
Well, yeah, I hope I'm a chance. Obviously, I come here to firstly finish the race, but I'm not here to come second either, Wes, so this Queensland title means a lot to me, with my brother winning it a few times, and yeah, I want the trophy this year.
Might be the last run for the old girl here too. Of course, a new car in the wings for you, and the VL, she's been a very, very trusty steed for a long time, but it'd be nice to retire it with number 1 on its back.
It would be. We got this weekend to go out a winner here, it'd be great. Then we go to Maryborough next weekend for another big meeting. Thanks to the Maryborough Club, but yeah, we've got a new VS on the way, and it's a bit of an unknown. I really love driving the VL. It's an easy car to drive, but yeah, looking forward to the new one and see how we go.
It really is a case of local track knowledge here being a very distinct advantage. And watching you in practice and at any stage when you've been racing, you really have a handle on Pagel Corner. It really is probably one of the trickiest places to either pass or make up ground. What is the secret to Pagel Corner?
Oh, I don't think it's no secret. It's like any speedway. You go to the corner and turn left. Car numbers are down a little, I think, because the title is here, but the only way people are going to get used to the track is if they come here, so it'd be nice to see a few more drivers in support, but yeah, it's just the same old speedway track.
Same old speedway track, same old station. A man who just really comes here with so much experience is Glenn Pagel.
Pack the top part of the track, Mellor. The active tree fellas, VS Commodore comes out at 2. It's a Commodore front row. And Rocket Rodney Pimenta will come out of position number 1. We then go back to car 11, of course, which is Gavin Lawrenson and the ex-Brian Leroy Corvette Queensland. Holden Commodore on the outside of him is Steve Collins. Then we go back to position number 5, which of course is Glenn Pagel carrying the high performance videos in the car camera tonight. On the outside of him is John O'Collins. And then of course coming off the rear is Mark Fergie Ferguson. Once again, they're getting to pack down the top part of this track. The 2 Lonely Fords are running out of position 6 and 7. They've got a bit of work to do there, Rhino. She's a Holden Fest in front.
Absolutely. Don't count out the Falcons at the back. Fergie, that thing goes hard, so do John O'Collins. But Mellor off the front row, it'd be one to watch.
Well, of course, we talked to Decana 8, the car of Rocket Rodney Pimenta. He reckons he's got reverse thrusters for the hairpin. All right. Looking for a start. Miller on the outside. Pimenta can't get the gas up. Contact with him. And Lawrenson straight away, but it's Collins. And have a look. Stevie Collins and Giles on the inside. Lawrenson gets a good run. Can't make a second. Pagel's give him the short back and sides down the back. Well, Mellor now sits out in front. The active tree fellas. VS Commodore. Car number 43, the car of Steve Collins. Does the chasing. Look at Rocket Rodney. Pimenta as he makes his way to the top of Pagel Corner. He is on the move. Look at Pagel. Uncharacteristic mistake, and Pagel goes round. Yellow lights come on. Pagel into the bottom of the hairpin there, got the tail out. And the rear end went into the wet line on the inside. Very uncharacteristic mistake from Glenn Pagel. Well, some great footage then. 8 laps is now going to be the distance. 8 laps left to run. And Miller will come up to take the green. 8 laps left to travel. That's Miller and Collins, and we go back to Rodney Pimenta. Jono Collins up on the inside of Rocket. Rodney, bit of contact. Down deep into the hairpin. Pimenta got the better line down the bottom. Oh! Fergie gets caught on the boards and no one's got anywhere to go. Ferguson all crossed up. And Gavin Lawrenson nowhere to go but into the wrong side of the car of Ferguson. Lights are flashing, they are in correct position. We are about to go green. Lights are off. Miller will lead us away out front. Craig Miller, the active tree fillers, VS Commodore. Being chased by Steve Collins. Collins deep in the Pagel corner. Have a look at Rocket Rodney Pimenta. What balance and poise. Out of the Commodore, nice flowing lines deep into the top section of the track. Now down to the hairpin. Collins doing a great on. Jono Collins. Having problems down the back and Pagel. Glenn Pagel is absolutely being punished. Oh, Pimenta up on the inside of Steve Collins. Here comes Gavin Lawrenson. And the battle for second and third is where the action is. Ferguson is flying. Gavin Lawrenson up on the inside. The T-Mac Auto Spares. Commodore tries to find a line around the inside. Rocket Rodney Pimenta looks to go down the outside. Collins closes the door. Oh, everybody concertinas into the hairpin. While this is happening, Mellor's gone, thank you very much. And Mellor has just bolted. So Collins has got him lining up behind him. And Pimenta's trying to find a way around. Here comes the car of Pagel. Oh, Pimenta. Rocket Rodney's got a problem with the front end of the car. Left-hand front strut looks like that's collapsed. And the wheel is towing out, it is broken. The whole rack end's probably come out of the bottom of that. And Pimenta's car is very second-hand to the left-hand front. Right, the reverse thrusters weren't doing him much good down the bottom as he made his way into the hairpin. And that car has got severe damage on the left-hand front. Oh, Pimenta! Rocket Rodney's got a problem with the front end of the car. Left-hand front. I don't know what to say, mate. He'll be absolutely gutted, fair bit of damage. The whole thing had collapsed before the contact with Pagel. So Pagel really didn't have anything to do with it, but I know that the side of Glenn Pagel's car has got some damage. Thankfully not on the side that is carrying the camera for the guys from High Performance Videos. Of course, Pagel's car carrying a rear-facing camera at the moment coming out of the side of the car. Some great action shots for these guys. But so Rocket Rodney's going to come through. Not sure where they're all going to start. Everybody seems happy to get into those positions. As the lights go out, we're going to go green. And Mellor takes the green. 4 laps remaining. Steve Collins has got Gavin Lawrenson chasing him down. Lawrenson looking Probing on the back of Steve Collins' car. Pagel looks for an inside run. Ferguson onto the back of John O'Collins' car. Oh, Collins got that wrong. Oh, Pagel fighting the wheel of the VL. Oh, Gavin Lawrenson trying hard to find a line on the inside of the car of Steve Collins. Turns the car to the bottom of the hairpin. Trying to get to drive up on the inside. He does so. Collins defends. Lawrenson went defensive. Now Collins back on the inside. 2 laps remaining. And Pagel is coming from nowhere now to be in 3rd place. Collins trying to find a way to the inside of Steve Collins. So Jono, with 1 lap left to travel, is fly. Look at Ferguson. The 2 XFs are in battle down the back. But it's the Bean Farmer out front. Craigie Mellor. The active tree fellas, VS Commodore takes the win. 2nd place to the car of Gabriel Lawrenson. And Pagel comes home in 3rd. Well, the good money was on him last night. For the man building his pool, please give him a big round of applause. Craig Mellor, the Bean Farmer, takes the win. Carry some good luck on the front there, mate. I see some BP sponsorship. Tell you what, maybe you've got the luck of the team this weekend.
Yeah, I hope so. Obviously, a lot of luck comes into it, but also setup and reliability, so we'll see how we go.
Mate, a happy setup and a very happy car. This car looked lightning fast from the start. I can tell you what, mate, Bernie Graney's money was well spent last night, I think, Rhino. That was a very...
Well, Amanda come here this weekend with a brand new colour scheme. In fact, the purple and yellow is now gone. She's now purple and green. We're talking about Steve Thompson. Steve, mate, the change of colour could bring some good luck.
Well, hopefully, yeah, because I've been tipping my old car over, so we thought we'd have a whole new look.
Well, definitely, the last thing you want to do is have the green sitting that way, so it really is a delightful looking colour scheme now. Of course, Ford's being so dominant here at this track, we've talked about it on numerous occasions. It really is a case of the home of the Ford. That hairpin really brings out the essential torque that's available to the Ford runners out of the inline 6.
Yeah, that's true. I was pretty happy with the car last night because I haven't run here for a while, so hopefully it's hopefully it's in my favour.
You've been spending a lot of time away in the last 12 months too with motorsport. You've been running everything you possibly can. You've had a lot of, there's no easy way to say it, bum and seat time, I suppose. Your game has really improved with that, and I can see now that you seem a lot more confident in the car and yourself.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I really enjoy racing against the best in the country, and I think that's the only way to really push yourself along to try and achieve more and be better at it. And that's what I love doing.
Well, he definitely loves doing that. I've got to tell you, if Green's going to bring anybody good luck this week, it's going to be this man here, Steve Thompson.
Flashing lights still on as we get these guys sorted out. The T-Mac Auto Spares and Race Gears car of Gavin Lawrenson, the ex-Brian Leroy, Corvette Queensland Commodore. Looking strong here this weekend on the outside, of course. The car of Irwin, the Campbell wrecking forward. Garrett's earth-moving car. The last time we see the VL go round, the brand new VS in the shed, ready to come out for next season. For Pagel. And Glenn Pagel is for Michael Halley, the current New South Wales #1 on his outside. Green light on. Lawrenson gets a great run on the inside. Look at Halley trying to position himself. Pagel up on the inside. Lawrenson up on the outside, so it's going to be Pagel. Look at Michael Halley. Halley across. Hussey slides down on the inside, and Pagel gets a short back inside. Oh, Owen. Oh, Pagel bashing his
way through the centre. There was no fiberglass. Left undamaged now on the VL. Thompson turning down Pagel, slide through. And Pagel now onto the back of the car of Michael Halley. Gavin Morrison, the T-back. Sponsor Commodore out front. Look at this, 2 and 3 wide again. Hussey trying to find a way past Owen. Here comes Steve Downs. And Johnson goes to the boards looking for racetrack upstairs. Pagel onto the back of Halley. Halley and the Speedway Spares XF Falcon, the New South Wales #1, finally gets some rhythm of the 98 car. Oh, Pagel stuck his nose up on the inside. Gets a good run out of the top of Pagel, and Pagel out the inside. Pagel gets a helping hand from Halley out of the bottom hairpin. And now Pagel's got 6 laps to get on the back of Gavin Morrison. The tried and true VL, the Garrett's earth-moving VL Commodore is on the charge. Hussey sits back and forth. Thompson, Downs, Johnson and Irwin. With that gap between Gavin Morrison and Pagel has started to close. 5 laps left to travel. And Pagel is pedaling the wheels off the VL. Morrison deep down into the hairpin. Up to the lane straight now. Into the first of the left hand, turns into Canteen, now opening the Pagel corner. And Glenn Pagel is starting to come home. 4 laps remaining, Stephen Downs on the inside of Thompson. And Pagel, what can he do? Can he close this gap? Halley's got problems. That looks like heat coming out of the fact. Look at the steam coming out of the top of Halley's car. Halley's car will be getting hot. He will not do any more chasing. And look at Pagel. Look at this gap closing. 2 more laps to run. Can Glenn Pagel bridge this gap? Pagel about 4-5 car lengths now. Deep down into the bottom end. You can see Pagel, he can see that he's a chance. White flag out, 1 lap left to try. And Glenn Pagel said in an early interview he did not come here to run second. Lawrenson out in front, into the hairpin for the very last time with his head. Checkered flag in the starter's hands. Lawrenson takes the win. Second place to Pagel, and Halley hangs on for 3rd. Oh, Jimmy Downs comes through, so's the car of Thompson. Hussey home in 4th. Give a big round of applause. Gavin Lawrenson takes the win. Mate, I think there was a guy in the infield here that drove every one of those laps with you.
Yeah, as long as he's egging me on, I suppose that's all right. I don't expect too much. It's only the 4th meeting in the car, so I'll be happy if I make the final, and that'll be anything from over there is a bonus.
I'll tell you what, this car knows the quick line around here, and Gavin's just got a very, very nice setup. We normally see the Joker, Stevie Jordan, at the wheel, of course, of the brand new sweet chassis that's been running in Super Set for some time, but this weekend he stepped back into the very familiar world of modified production. And Steve, it's just a chance to come and have a skid in the dark, really, isn't it? In a car that's been owned by a mate of yours.
That's it, yeah. It's a new car for one of my friends, and wanted to sort the suspension out and sort of turn it into a race car. And so the opportunity come to sort of have a bit of a skid at the Queensland title, and so we thought, oh, well, we'll bring it up and just fill up the field anyway and go with the boys I used to race with.
It really is a case of a test and tune this weekend on the car, because it doesn't have a race mile on it at all. And in fact, prior to coming here, it spent some time back with Mattia too. Well, it's got a familiar feel about it. It's got that Pasco feel.
Yeah, you could say that. We had a bit of a practice there last night, and as we know, Maddie likes to have things lean over and have them stick there as they're going through the turns, and she was definitely leaning over and sticking. So, but we had to sort of adjust that and get it to balance out a little bit more, so she was a little bit more not so floaty, as we might say. But yeah, Maddie sort of helped us put the coil-over springs and everything through it, and sort of set it up a little bit for me, so it was a little bit easy for me when I got here.
I suppose it's familiar territory. It is a forward once again that you're at the wheel of.
Well, that's it. I mean, end of the day, I've always been a forward man, and it's brought me home to many titles before in Model 5 production, so you just never know.
Well, that's exactly right. You never know. You could be the joker in the pack here, mate. We don't know what could happen.
Exactly right. You know, like, it's quite a number of people there could take it out, and there's a lot of top running guys there that they just might all be eliminated real quick. So you just never know until the checkered flag drops.
Well, that's exactly right. You will never know until the checkered flag drops, and this is one guy that could feature very well that time when it happens. Ah! Well, we can cut at the end of that anyway. Sorry, mate.
Happened in the feature race. All right. The rollout, Steve Collins off the front row. On the outside of him is, of course, Neil Coomber. Aidan Raymond. On the outside of him is car 71, the car of Troy Ware. The Joker, Stevie Jordan, comes out of position number 5. And that looks like car 22, Dale Grother on the outside. John O'Collins comes out of position number 7. On the outside of him is Royce Ernst, and coming off the back. Quick repair job for the car of Rocket, Rodney Pimenta. It's Collins leads the way. Have a look on the outside. Coomber, big move on the high line. And Coomber into the lead, wide open in the throttle. Collins deep into the braking area. Oh, look at Jordan down the inside of Royce Ernst. Oh, a bit of push and shove going on. Oh, Collins gets the car of Coomber all crossed up. Troy Ware capitalises on it. Dale Grother does the same. Collins goes to the high line. John O'Collins around the outside of Stevie Jordan. Coomber now to the outside of Ware. Back on the inside now. Dale Grother slides through. Royce Ernst. The hot wide. Falcon runs up on the inside, but it's Aidan Raymond out front. Raymond deep into the braking area, Ware beside him. And once again, it's Grother, the AAA dual tray, Brisbane Towing, Cortina doing the chasing. Cooper now settles the car into the top part of Fagle Corner. Jordan trying to find his way through the traffic. But Raymond looks strong. Ware has got the Dale Grother trying to find a way on the inside. Grother, big lunge on him at the top of Fagle Corner. But look at the battle for 4th. Coomber, Royce Ernst, Steve Jordan. Big contact down the back. That was heavy metal up against the boards. Oh, Jordan and Royce Ernst. Cars going left, right, and centre. Officials taking cover. Once again, Canberra focusing on the battle for 4th place. Grother tries to move up on the inside, but Jordan is under siege. Look at Royce Ernst go on the high line. Coomber deep into the bottom. Steve Collins now deep on the brakes. 2nd place is Dale Grother. He's found a way inside Troy Ware. But look at this battle behind. Collins down the inside of Coomber. And Royce Ernst is out after the Joker, Stevie Jordan. 2 laps remaining. And Grother now goes back to 3rd place. Ware back into 2nd. And Royce Ernst up on the inside of the Joker, Stevie Jordan. Raymond, 1 more lap to travel. Our race leader now in the Fagle Corner of the top part. Pagel down the back straight, into the hairpin for the last time. What a run! The Corona Records Falcon. If Aiden Raymond takes the win, second place goes to Troy Ware. And it's Forge 1, 2, 3 with Dale Groither coming home in third. John O'Collins home in fourth. Royce Ernst. Coomer and Collins. Put your hands together for him. Team Green takes another win. And Raymond this time takes the checker. Another good run out front. You've got to be delighted with the way the cars come back.
Yeah, it's going good. We made a few improvements tonight, so I'm pretty happy so far.
They say very little. They just let the talking be done on the racetrack. Once again, a Raymond win here at Gympie is nothing that we haven't seen before. And then Raymond takes another heat win. But mate,
the smallest car here this weekend, well, I've got to tell you, it may have the biggest heart. And joining me now is the driver of that car, Gary Morosky. You might have the smallest engine, but I've got to tell you, this thing's all heart, and it really is a car that has made everybody stand up, take notice in the last few months.
Yeah, well, we've done a lot of work on it, the boys and me. We just keep working at it. I mean, we've got to try and beat these Fords and Falcons. I mean, can't let them win all the time, can we?
You definitely can't win them at all. That's the whole point. You can't let them win at all. Seriously, this track is a horsepower track. The pull out of their hairpin really is where a lot of the Fords have their advantage over some of the Commodores. But look, it predominantly, we know it's possibly going to go slick at some stage. That's where the Mazda comes into its own.
That's exactly right. When it goes slick, I think we'll be past a few of them. Well, I hope so anyhow. But yeah, we hope to do well. That's all I can say. All right.
There's been a lot of work put into this car, as we said, over the last few months. The boys have tirelessly worked away. You've assembled a fairly fit and fine crew.
Oh, mate, unfortunately, the boys are with me at this stage. They were with me 10 years ago, and they haven't changed. They just keep coming back, and they want me to keep racing, eh? So what can you say? Good on them.
It is, I suppose it's a great atmosphere. The team have a lot of fun when you go away. I've never ever seen you guys at a bad night, even if it's all gone terrible, you guys are still smiling. It's just, I suppose it's the right way to treat motorsport, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, we come here to win, but if we don't win, we still have a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about, eh?
Well, having a lot of fun, that's what it's all about. And this little RX-7 is going to be one of those cars you really have to watch out for.
Todd Doyle. Mellor starting on the outside. And so is the car of Raymond. They'll get one more formation lap. The lights are flashing. So once again, with the lights flashing and now out, we'll have a 10-lap journey for these guys in the Defence Jobs Queensland Modifying Production title. Tischler and Etherton on the front row, the money man on the outside, car number 12. Start to line him up, the light goes green, Etherton got a great run. Daryl Etherton, the money man, out in front, look at Morosky. Gary Morosky in the RX-7 is like a bull and out of the gate. Oh, Doyle down the inside. Look at Mellor. Shellcross now down on the inside. Zahle. All fighting for room down the bottom. Morosky can't compete with the horsepower beside him. Once again, Morosky, look at the battle. For 4th, 5th, and 6th, these guys are turning it on. Mellor from the rear. Oh, look at Tischler into the back of Mellor's car. Morosky up on the inside. Yellow lights come on. And it looked like Tischler and the car of Reynolds turning themselves around down the bottom. Looks like they're going to let him settle at that. All right. Doyle's got the car into gear he wants. He will be punishing the back of the money man Etherton as they come out of the bottom of the hairpin. And the lights up the Cortina. The money man leads us away with 8 laps left to travel. And Todd Doyle is on the charge. Etherton gets a little wild and wide out of the top. Oh, Doyle into the rear And the money man's going. Have a look at Raymond starting to come through the field. Oh! Borowski tags the wall out of the bottom hairpin. And Doyle tries to find the inside line. Etherton still getting a good drive wide out of the top of Pagel. Doyle gets close to the boards. Oh, look at Raymond. Mellor coming through as well. The money man Etherton keeps the car a little tighter this time. Better line to the top of Pagel. But have a look at Raymond. Raymond down the inside of Shellcross. Raymond now on the charge. Mellor pulls it up at the bottom of the hairpin. And the yellow light on for Zahle, I think. Just wanted to check that. The yellow light on for Zahle. Behind. Australia 1 and Queensland Super Sedan potential, and this track really probably doesn't suit it as much as some of the more open tracks do. I'm going to tell you, he is pedaling the wheels off that little thing. Shellcross sits back in second. Raymond back going to go green. They roll down the hill, and once again, Raymond's got a job to do. Lights come on green, and once again, it's the money man. Etherton being chased by Australia 1, Tom Doyle. Tighter into the top of Pagel this time. Doesn't leave a gap for Doyle to stick his nose down. Deep into the hairpin. Now Doyle comes out slightly lower. Good drive, and look at the RX-7 now. Onto the back of Doyle as well. Doyle looking up on the inside. Borowski come in, so is the car of Raymond. Raymond's going to have to look to get past very shortly. We will have four seconds left to go this time round. 4 laps remaining. And look at Raymond on the inside of Borowski. Aiden Raymond. In fact, it's Greg Raymond on the inside looking to find some room. Greg lines him up, look at the balance. Oh, Borowski now having a look at Tom Doyle. So Doyle's gone from the aggressor to the defender. As the RX-7 and Raymond starting to have a real red hot go. Doyle on the rev limiter through the top of Canning Corner and now to Pagel. And Doyle trying to find that chink in the money man's armor, and he can't find it at this stage. Oh, Borowski pulls up on the inside, Raymond to the outside, 1 lap remaining. Raymond goes up high. Borowski covers his line. Raymond will be a drag race down the back. Raymond tags the ball, shoulders Borowski out of the way. Yellow light to run. Just as the checker was starting to be put out. They're just trying to check what's going on. Looks like they have declared it. And Diane's got a big face full of methanol. That's cleared your sinuses. Bit of angst going on here. We'll go have a quick chat to Daryl. Well, money man, another nice win out front. Todd Doyle chasing you nice and hard, but I've got to tell you, you earned every lap of that.
Yeah, Wes, no one's probably more surprised about that win than me. There's some pretty impressive company in that race, and I thought I was really going to struggle to hang on, and I did. But anyway, I'll take those points because I need them.
He said he was 100-1 shot at the start of this, and he held off Todd Doyle for every one of those laps, mate. He's no 100-1 shot. Those odds are starting to firm up. Just got to try and check the switch to make sure that's still working. Righto. No sparks is the issue.
So once again, just one of those nights. All right. It's Daryl Etherton on the front row. The outside of him is Mark Raymond. Chucky Gerrits lines up in position number 3 on the outside. Down Brims. Pricey, and then on the outside of him is the car of Mcdonald. Green light on. Well, they go, and Price goes round. Neisler on the inside, yellow lights are on. Brims and Mcdonald get a bit of contact at the top. So once again, just checking some fuses, in fact. So now they're going to go green. Neisler. Once again, Raymond on the outside. Raymond gets a great one, so does Brims. Brimsy high up on the top line of the track. Oh, contact, you can get it, slide through. But it's Mark Raymond out front. Brimsy chasing him down, and this is going to be wild race. Brimsy lost valuable points in the first round to a broken left-hand axle. Now he finds himself in second place and chasing the man of the moment, Mark Raymond, deep down into the hairpin bend. And it's Neisler being chased by Chucky Gerrits, Mcdonald and Pricey. Mcdonald, bit of contact with Gerrits in the top part of Oval Corner. But it's Mark Raymond from the car of Darren Brims. The wide base sounds, Ron Brown Holmes, Commodore of Darren Brims looking a lot stronger than it did. Neisler now falling back into the clutches of Gerrits and Mcdonald as they try and race towards third position. Mcdonald got good drive out of the bottom. And Gerrits is under siege from both him and Price. Mcdonald on the inside. Shane Mcdonald deep down in the hairpin. Can't make the pass. He's going to do it all again. Price is finding some balance. Price, look at Mcdonald up on the inside of Gerrits now. Gerrits gets out of the throttle. Mcdonald now deep on the inside. Mcdonald and Gerrits once again. Price launches it out of the hairpin. Drag race on the front straight. Mcdonald is doing everything to fight for fourth place. Gerrits on the outside. Look at Price. And now Brims has come back into the clutches of Neisler. Third place isn't decided. Fourth place isn't either. Mcdonald up on the inside. Gerrits made the error. Mcdonald fights for him to the top of Oval Corner. And Gerrits maintains fourth place. Look at Price. Stephen Price looks up on the inside. We're going to go 3 wide. Price, he has to get out of the throttle. Mcdonald on the inside of Gerrits again. Chucky Gerrits. What about Mcdonald deep on the brakes into the hairpin? 1 lap remaining. Oh, Gerrits takes the boards. Mcdonald back again on the inside. Mcdonald and Gerrits. Checkered flag of the ready. Raymond takes the win. Second place to be Brims. Look at Mcdonald deep on the brakes. Brims stays second. Neisler in for third. Gerrits. Gerrits home in fourth. What a battle. Put your hands together for him. The battle for fourth place. What a win. Well, this must be fairly bittersweet for you, Rhino.
Hey,
He's
guys run your guys run second to the man you bought in the Calcutta. Bittersweet time for the man upstairs. He's watching a car he works on run second, but to the man he's won in the Calcutta.
Yeah, the car's finally going good. We've had a bad run this year, blown a couple of engines. Last year in the Queensland titles, got put in the fence, and three quarters the car's new. So finally, we got a bit of luck happening, and hopefully it'll last tonight and tomorrow night.
That's exactly right. As you said, it's got to last tonight and tomorrow night. Well, should be out of 3. That's the problem at the moment. Everybody goes back to position. We'll give them one more rolling lap around. So now hopefully we'll get a start. Lights are out. 10 laps the journey. And we're on the inside. Will start out of 2. Johnson and Morosky. Brims and Lawrenson. And Niesler brings up the rear. Green light on! Where and Pagel go side by side in the canteen corner. Now over to Pagel. Pagel up on 2 wheels. And contact aplenty. And Pagel. Well, if you want to know what diff ratio and he's running and what his tail shaft looks like, we've got a fairly good view of it just then.
I'm sure High Performance Video's got all the action. That'll make the highlight reel, Wes, I'd reckon.
Well, that'll be great out of the in-car camera. But the problem was the in-car camera would have been pointing to the darkness. On and now over to Pagel. Pagel up on 2 wheels. So I'll check that out again. It's on the side, right? Just don't like where the camera is. Whoa. Down through and into the hairpin. Ware and Pagel on the front row. Look at Morosky starting to build the revs, the momentum of the RX-7. Green light on. And Pagel gets a great run on the outside. Oh, Johnson into the rear quarter. Morosky looking to get underneath the car of Troy Ware, but here comes Lawrenson. Oh, Lawrenson got squared up by Johnson into the hairpin. And Niesler is flying. Problems for Brims. The car labouring in the back. But once again, look at this. Pagel out front, Lawrenson coming through. The T-Mac, Holden, Commodore Lawrenson is on the charge. But Pagel out front. What a run. Morosky doing the chasing. And Lawrenson's coming into this battle as well. Morosky got a little board coming out of the bottom of the hairpin. Now they start to build the revs. 7 on 10 remaining. And Morosky so fast across the top. And Lawrenson deep into the braking area. Now comes this battle. Oh, Morosky up on the inside. Balked a little coming out of that corner. And now Lawrenson is all over him. Gavin Lawrenson in the ex-Corvair Queensland Holden Commodore. Finds himself racing for 3rd place. Oh, deep into the bottom. The attitude of the Commodore now up on the inside. The drag race up on the inside. Look at the Morosky yields. Didn't have the drive of the track to race in. Brims has got a flat left-hand front. That's the problem with his Commodore. And once again, it's Glenn Pagel out front. Now Lawrenson. Can he close the gap between him and Troy Ware? Deep into the hairpin. Lawrenson now onto the back of the Falcon. The Falcon leaps out of the hairpin. The torque out of the six-cylinder. Inline six-cylinder engine. Oh, has a moment on the entrance into the Pagel corner. And Lawrenson just wasn't close enough to capitalise. Now down into the bottom. And once again, Pagel leads us through. 2 laps remaining. And I tell you, the defensive strategy from Lawrenson. He finds himself up on the inside. Ware hasn't yielded, 1 lap left to go. And Troy Ware finds himself in the position of defending from a very aggressive Gavin Lawrenson. But it will be Pagel takes the win. Second place to Ware and Lawrenson home in third. Morosky fourth. With Johnson and Niesler rounding out. Brims taking some valuable points here with a blown left front tyre. Oh, frustration. I know you wanted to make the show reel here for high performance videos, but mate, that little bicycle manoeuvre up the back, that's not what you want to see at a racetrack.
No, I wouldn't like to drive a sprint car, I'll give you the tip. Well, now I know they
Position
feel.
number
but,
3 on the outside of him
anyway,
is, of course, the boss, Greg Raymond. Jono Collins lines up out of position number 5, and Paul Hussey comes out of 6. 22, Dale Grother lines up out of 7. On the outside of him will be Irwin. And then with Coomba running around off the rear. We'll get him one more settling lap. Chucky Garrett. Raymond looking to power up as well. Once again, the field. Get ready to take the green flag with 10 laps being the distance. Garrett will start on the outside. There's plenty of racetrack there. Can he launch it and get it around the outside of young Aidan Raymond? And where is Greg going to settle in this battle as the lights go green? Chucky Garrett's got a good start. Look at Greg, straight up on the inside. Aidan to the front. Greg Raymond lines up in position number 2, but Garrett isn't going to yield. Oh, Raymond takes him to the boards. Raymond around. And Raymond has got a flat right-hand rear. Well, what do you say? I tell you what, unbelievable. This is what we wanted to see. And Greg Raymond out with that flat right-hand rear. Jono Collins on the inside of Irwin. Grother getting a better run off the back this time. Chucky Garrett gets on the throttle. Raymond and Garrett go at it again. And Raymond to the top part. Garrett. Have a look at Joker Jordan. Hussey down the inside. Hussey yields. Jordan deep into the hairpin. Oh, Garrett tags it all on the way out. Jordan pedaling this car hard. Yellow lights are on in Irwin. And the car at Coombe come together down the back. I don't know if you saw that at all, Rhino, but of course they come together down in the hairpin. Once again, 10 laps the distance.
Can Chucky Gerrits get around the outside of Raymond? Gerrits start to bring the pace up. Bit of contact down the bottom early on the start. Gerrits tries to get the line up on the outside. Chucky Gerrits and Raymond go at it side by side. Oh, look at Paul Hussey on the inside. John Collins up on the inside with the Joker Jordan. Oh, Coomer's got problems. Coomer got well out of shape into the hairpin. And Grother's got John Collins chasing him hard. But out in front it is Aidan Raymond. Gerrits has got Hussey chasing. Look at the Joker Jordan. Jordan's car looking a little bit happier than it was at the start of the night. Jordan pedals this car within an inch of its life. Deep into the hairpin. Jordan not wanting to get out of the throttle for one moment. Grother chasing him up the hill. Jordan quick through the top of Pagel, now down through the kink and deep into the hairpin bend. Jordan good under brakes down the bottom, really closes up in the back of Hussey. Gerrits gets sucked to the wall. And Hussey now starts to punish him. Raymond out front. Hussey now on the inside of Chucky Gerrits. Contact. Oh, Hussey has a moment. Everybody fights to come up on the inside. Cars banging away, the valve floating as they come through the top of Canteen corner. And Gerrits drifts wide to the hairpin. Raymond has bolted. Gerrits is under siege from Hussey, Jordan, Grother and Collins. Hussey looking to set himself for the move. Has to get the fast run down the inside. Grother looking for a line around Jordan. Gerrits gets a little untidy out of the bottom. Can Hussey capitalise on it? Looking to run up on the inside. 3 laps remaining. And once again, Gerrits throws off all comers. 2 laps now remaining. Raymond's out front. He has bolted. Gerrits in second. And Grother gets a run up on the inside of the Joker Jordan. Jordan wrestles the XF Falcon to the top of Pagel. Here comes Hussey on the inside. Gerrits deep under brakes. Hussey still can't make the pass. Oh, look at this. 1 lap remaining. 1 lap remaining and our race leader is down in the hairpin. He will come around to take the checkered flag. And Raymond takes the win. Second place out of the hairpin now comes Sakara Gerrits. Oh, Gerrits climbs the wall, still holds second. And Hussey comes home in third. Oh, put your hands together for him. What a great drive. One of the very, very quick Team Green cars here. And Raymond takes the win. Once again, I made another great effort. The car looks strong. In fact, just to let you know, you guys are 1, 2, 3 in the fight tonight.
It's good to know, isn't it? No, the car's really good. I'm happy with them all.
The car's good. That's all he cares about. The car is good.
The car
that sounds
is good.
good. Sounds real good for Ford fans. And the Karoy Auto Wreckers team are looking strong, mate. Once again. Well, Mandy thinks presentation is definitely the key to success, and takes that success right to the track is, of course, Mark Ferguson. Fergie, mate, one of those times where this car really could feature well. The Australian title, everybody sat up and took notice of the old girl. I've got to tell you, Queensland title may be one that you could end up with this weekend.
All we need is a bit of luck and things go our way and we'll be in there, hopefully.
The car has been exceptionally fast. The crew's done a great job, including you, of really keeping it in tip-top condition. one faux pas this year and ended up with its legs in the air like I suppose like a dead cocky. But once again, you did a lot of work to get it back on track, and you'd never know where it's been.
No, that's true. Thanks to Greg for giving us a hand. We worked our butts out to get it back to looking mint, and it's going well again.
This being the home of Ford here, I mean, it really is a case of a Ford racetrack. That hairpin, I've talked to several other drivers about the hairpin. It really is the key to a very fast lap here.
Yeah, exactly. We're not 100% up to it yet, but we'll follow a few of the locals around, and hopefully we'll be there.
Well, mate, best of luck this weekend, and once again, we hope that somewhere soon we're going to see a big title on your mantelpiece.
Yeah, that'd be
Drilling
great.
services,
Thanks,
Sun State Gearbox and Diff, BA Falcon, of course. Then we come to Fergie. Well, I thought his night was gone, but he's going to come out and chase this misfire. So it's Shallcross and Zahle. Pricey and Pimenta. Downs, Ferguson, Etherton, Collins, and Reynolds rounding out the group. Retrieving a car, they'll get one more rolling lap. Well, Fergie looks like he's coming up for one more round there, Rhino, and look like he's not this misfire that he thought he cured. As maybe he's got a handle on it again.
That's fantastic. He come up with his transponder, Wes, and he said, that'll do me, I've had enough. I've gone to work.
And once again, it's Shallcross and Zahle on the front row. Pricey and Pimenta coming out of the second row. With Downs and Ferguson coming out of row number 3. Green light's on. Shallcross on the pole line. Oh, Zahle's going through, and here comes Pricey. Pricey up on the inside, and Zahle gives him the heave-ho. Well. Talk about opportunity knocks. Pricey had a gap bigger than the Queen Mirror to drive through as the two front row drivers. Lights are out, ready to go green again for 10. And it's Shallcross and Zahle. And you can be betting that Pricey will be jumping on the spot if these pair get and lock horns again. Green light will come on. Shallcross on the front row. Gets a sun. Pricey helps him through. And here comes Stephen Price again. Price and Shallcross, and Pricey into the lead. All three right down the back. Fergie now deep into the brake area. Have a look at the money man. Etherton goes round. Shallcross, Ferguson. They line up on the infield. Yellow lights are on. Oh, mate, that actually just looks like the down loop on the back of the tank protector, in fact. Doesn't look like that's suspension at all. We'll just have a quick look as it comes past. I might be wrong. No, that's out of the back. J-bar gone. So the J-bar is broken. Green light comes on, and it's Shallcross. Zahle again. Zahle now back on the inside. Etherton goes high around the outside of Downs. Here comes Pricey. Oh, Pricey, and once again, Zahle go at it deep into the hairpin. Pricey now underneath Shallcross. Here comes Rodney Pimenta. Rocking Rodney Pimenta now. Has he got the gremlins fixed in the front end of his Commodore? But it's Price who has a red hot go. These guys are really starting to push on. It's their last round of heats means they've only got one more round tomorrow night. Shallcross has got Price chasing through. Third place Pimenta, he's gone defensive. He's got Zahle, Etherton, and now Downs chasing through. Shallcross. Oh, Pricey gives Shallcross a heave two down the back. Shallcross into the boards. And well. give Shellcross. Eve 2 down the back, Shellcross into the boards. Oh, Downs takes evasive action.
Camp will be looking for some much needed points in this one, Wes.
I certainly will do. Any conjecture down here on the infield as well. For the moment, we've got 7 laps left to run. And Rocket Rodney's out front. Stephen Zahle's are chasing. And the money man, Etherton, is now hot on the heels of Stephen Zahle. Etherton comes through. Etherton now deep down into the hairpin. Pimenta's car starting to be a little bit of a handful out of the bottom. Reynolds and Price race. Oh, Etherton looking on the inside of Zahle. Can he get the run down to the hairpin? Zahle straightens it up. Deep under brakes. Look at the car of Stephen Downs starting to close in on these guys. Rocket Rodney Pimenta has got the SH Ganreach painting contractors Commodore running smoother than it has all weekend. Down into the bottom. Now gets onto the gas. Oh. Etherton's car bagging up the rear tires, trying to get up the hill. Etherton very fast through the top of Pagel. Deep down into the bottom. Etherton's car, that is really some degree of smoke coming out of that car. That's coming out of the diff at this stage. Oh, Etherton now up on the inside of Zahle. Contact between him and Zahle, they all go everywhere. And Pricey into the battle as well. Once again, Rhino, the pressure on right in the final stage of this event.
Having a go. Absolutely having a ding-dong battle. Oh dear. Be some busy people tonight and tomorrow, I reckon, fixing race cars.
Stage, oh, Etherton now up on the inside of Zahle. Contact between him and Zahle, they all go everywhere. And Pricey into the battle as well. Downs he's going to pull in. You're worried about what's going on in the back of Etherton's car here at the moment. And once again, deep down in the bottom corner they run. And Rocket Rodney leads us away. Pimenta now leads. Zahle sits back in second. The money man, Etherton, trying to stay with Pricey deep into the hip in the run. Plenty of smoke coming out of the back of Etherton's car now. And I would nearly think that could even be brake fluid on a rotor. The smell is very diff-like. Under siege. Look at the back of that car. Smoke billowing from the worldly sponsored Cortina of the money man, Daryl Etherton, but he won't give in. And Pimenta, with only 1 lap left to travel, Etherton goes round, a big spin for him down the back. Checkered flag. Rodney Pimenta takes the win. Second place to Zahle. And third goes to Stephen Price. And what a result, Rhino. You could not have thought that was going to happen.
Have a look at the left rear on Etherton's thing. It's pointing at 45 degrees. He's got serious problems in the back of that thing.
Oh, I think the whole axle's come out, mate. I think you'll find. It was all diff oil coming out everywhere there before, so you'll find that it's emptied itself out. The whole thing's come adrift in the back. Well, well, well.
Are you
Where's
open
Rocket?
tomorrow?
He's disappeared. Paying no attention down there.
He's signing autographs.
Oh, he wouldn't need to. No, he'd rather him come down, I'd say. All right. What a heat this is going to be. Mark Raymond off pole. Thompson on the outside, and we go back to Todd Doyle. Mcdonald will come out of 4. Royce Ernst. Coming 4 is John Tischler. As the Bernaminitos Ford Fusion of Chris Albert rolls out onto the infield. Ten laps the journey. And Mark Raymond, 2 from 2 so far. Can he make it 3 from 3 off the pole? Raymond steps onto the gas. And Thompson and Doyle. Look at Tony Doyle. Doyle really starting to muscle home. Mcdonald and Thompson go side by side to the hairpin. Mcdonald got the better run. Raymond, the Corona records, Ford Cortina sits out in front. Doyle, the Australian #1 and reigning Queensland one, is doing the chasing. And what has Thompson got left in the tank? Raymond starts to find the rhythm. Yellow lights are on. And that's Tischler and Ernst together down the bottom. I'll tell you what, it looked like Mark was getting a bit of the rhythm into his stride out there and really... 8 laps of the 10 left to travel. And the Carroy Auto Wreckers car of Mark Raymond will lead us away. With Australian one doing the chasing. Doyle hot into Pagel. Raymond rides that little bump down into the hairpin. Oh, Todd got a little crossed up. But what's Todd got left in the tank? Doyle really throwing caution to the wind. Once again, it's the car of Mcdonald chasing. 4 places Royce Ernst, Thompson and Tischler round out the 6 in this heat. But it's Raymond who's started to build the gap. Have a look at Pimenta. Sorry, look at Mcdonald down the bottom. Mcdonald is really finding some form and some great speed. As Tom Doyle, Australia #1 and Q1 comes back to him. Mcdonald now deep into the hairpin, up on the inside of Doyle again. Mcdonald and Doyle side by side. McDonald's not going to yield. Doyle now up on the outside. And Shane McDonald on the inside of Australia 1. McDonald down in the hairpin, makes the move stick, but now Doyle's going to come back up on the inside. Shane McDonald takes it to the Australia 1. And McDonald has done something that many aspire to do. Taken Todd Doyle on at his own track and now sits in front. Doyle now has to consolidate. McDonald, what a nice line to the top of Pagel. He has learned so much about this track over the last couple of days. Deep into the hairpin. Doyle back on the inside. What have we got? Once again, McDonald's got the line into the top of Pagel. 1 lap remaining. Checker in the starter's hands. And Mark Raymond takes 3 from 3. Mcdonald in for second and Doyle in for third. Royce Sedans comes home in fourth with Thompson and Tischler rounding out the field. Yo-yo-day! Very happy, Mr. Rhino. Your luck has changed. 3 from 3 and Todd came home in third.
Well, can't say much for that. I'd just like to thank everyone that's helped on the car, Mum and Dad, Aidan and Jessica and all the fellas at work that helped put few engines together. And just thanks everyone and thanks everyone for coming and watching.
You could see his eyes light up when I told him Todd was third though. That takes a little bit more pressure off him, I think, Rhino.
Set to start out of position 1. Jason Flickworth, I saw duck off to the pits before, maybe a problem with the Gympie number 3. Jason Rees will slot up next to 2. Steve Cook and Darren Brady on the second row. Lee Steffens, Nigel Mulvanna, the Maryborough Speedway president. Paul Redman out of 7. Luke Hollyman, Rick Cunning and Jeff Peacock, a field of 10. Mulvanna, Redmond, Hollyman, Cunning and Peacock. Here we go, folks. We're set for a start. Mother Mountain coming to life. Green flag is waving and Jenkins leads us away. Breeze up high, Steve Cook on the inside. Here comes Stevens. Redmond's got a crossed up. Jenkins turns around and we've got a car park. Hollyman runs into Stevens, not too much damage. And that'll bring on the Rees, Steffens, Brady, Redmond off and running. Restart time. They stand on the fun button. Into turn number 1 we go, Cooks. Steffens, Rees left out. Hung out to dry. Redmond gets a touch from Brady. Down we go into the hairpin for the first time, and it's Brady under brakes. Up the inside of Rees, who runs a little high, but Steve Cook's your race leader, and here comes Steffens. Steffens closes up on the back of Cook and through Pagels they go. Track looks sensational. And a great rate of knots down through the kink. It's Steve Cook, your race leader, by a narrow margin. Lee Steffens up the inside, having a Captain Cook. Cook comes down and closes the door. Paul Redmond's made his way up into third. Cook runs high and Steffens closes in ever so muchly more. Hard on the brakes and Steffen looks strong into the hairpin. Down low, Cook up high. Side by side up the mountain they come. Cook will put his elbows out and try to hell him away. Cook running a little high, a little bit of understeer in the 13. But it gets down through the kink and into the hairpin they come. Lee Steffens swarming. Inside, outside, he'll try the run up the inside, but doesn't lay the traction down to the ground, and Cook gets about a car length on him. Still single file further back. Cook got a super run out of Pagels that time at the hairpin. Runs a tighter line this time, and Steffens closes up his Cortina. Is strong down the bottom. Up they go, Peacock starting to make a move on Brady for 4th. And Steffens having a Captain Shook up the inside for the lead. Cook slams the door in his face, puts a mark on his nose, and he keeps on going. Into the hairpin. Once again they go, the white flag will come out. Cook runs a little wide. 1 lap to go. Cook leads Steffens. Cook and Steffens and Cook. Here comes Steffens, he for the final time. Cook shall on a break. Stephens will have a look, but Cook will want to drive. How about that, folks? Great drive by Steve Cook to win heat 1. Stephens home in 2. Redmond, the next one home, fast finishing Peacock, Brady, Mulvanna, Jenkins and Cunning. But a sensational drive by Steve Cook. Okay. Nigel Mulvanna and Rick Cunning on the front row. Steve Cook and Paul Redmond. Super Streets about to get underway. Off and running. Mulvanna and Rick Cunning. Paul Redmond on the outside, the red Cortina. Trying to go around the outside of heat 1 winner Steve Cook. Mulvanna nose to tail. And Rick Cunning leads us into the hairpin. Redmond looking on the outside of Mulvanna. For second place, Mulvanna up the inside of Cunning. Cunning fighting back on the outside. Stephens gets up the inside of Redmond, gives him a don't argue. Through the dip and through Pagels they go. Look at Lee Stephens trying to get up the inside of Mulvanna. Slams it all in his face. Jenkins gives Peacock a little seal of approval. Redmond makes contact with this event. Gets pushed up a little. It won't slow down the Melbourne 72. Steve Cook with a big move up the inside. That's for 5th. Oh, Stephens! And Cunning made contact. Stephens turned around in the field, and his eyes would have been as big as dinner plates when he saw the rest of the field coming towards him. We're nearly done a lap. Lee Stephens, still your leader. Justin Jenkins has found a bit of form in the Cortina. Mulvanna working hard. Redmond, Cook and Peacock. It's a Cortina-a-thon out in front. Oh, yellows are on, and we got 2 cars around the wrong way. Up in Pagels, Jason Rees and Rick Cunning. Through Pagels' corner they go. Lee Stephens leads us down the back straight. Out of the hairpin they go, the super streets. Down through the kink. And into the hairpin, Peacock up the inside of Redmond. Oh, the Cortinas. Oh, into each other. Stephens, that car is quick. And working nicely across the top of the mountain. Mulvanna sits in second spot. Jenkins, Peacock runs high. Redmond gets crossed up a little. Oh, Mulvanna's got problems. The 24 machine, the A1 exhaust. Cortina. Might be gearbox problems. White flag out for Lee Stephens. The former Queensland champ, Justin Jenkins, sits in second. Peacock. Good drive up to third. Redmond, Brady and Flickworth. Lee Stephens wins it easily. Jenkins to Peacock. Darren Brady, Redmond, Flickworth, Cunning, Jason Rees and Nigel Mulvanna. Lights are out, Super Street's about to get underway for the final heat of the night. Off and running, Darren Brady, Jason Rees. Oh, Hollyman turns around in front of the field. Oh, Flickworth. How did he miss Hollyman? Darren Brady and Jason Rees. Stephens, Hollyman. Oh, Hollyman. Gets contact. Tag the wall, but the race continues. Jason Rees with the wings on top. Will fly into the lead. Peacock, Cunning, Flickworth and Hollyman. Oh, there's some paint swapping. Jason Rees. Oh, they're going every which way. It's a raffle out there at the moment. And anyone can win this one. Lee Stephens has a big look up the inside of Darren Brady, and he'll make it work, and he will lead us into the hairpin as Hollyman hits the fence and hits it again. Jason Rees, Rick Cunning, all having problems to get traction. Hollyman will sit on the infield and take no further part. Lee Stephens from Brady. Mulvanna, Redmond, Peacock and Rees. Jeff Peacock started out of position 11 and is now up into fourth. Redmond fights back on the inside. He'll try to take Mulvanna too, and he'll get the job done for third. Oh, Jenkins and Cook. Cook got into the side of Jenkins. Turns him around and then bring on the yellows. And the green light on the way. And Lee Stephens leads us into Pagel's corner. Watch. Keep an eye on Jeff Peacock. The Cortina's quick. Lee Stephens leads Darren Brady. Redmond, Mulvanna, Peacock, Rees, Cunning, Jenkins, Flickworth, and Steve Cook. Peacock gets into the back of Mulvanna, unsettles him a little. Oh, Rick Cunning turns himself around. Down the back straight they go. Oh, Redmond exit stage right, exit stage left. Doing a nice serpentine down the back straight. Lee Stephens takes a white flag. Brady runs in second, Mulvanna to Peacock, and then Redmond. The black and white checker comes out for the Gympie number 4. Lee Stephens will win another one. Darren Brady home in second. Mulvanna to Peacock, Redmond. Justin Jenkin, Steve Cook, Flickworth, Reese, and Rick Cunning. And that is the Super Streets. And we'll do a quick rundown on the points after the second round of heats. Super Street Sedans. The lights are out. We'll do it this time. Paul Redmond, Jason Rees, Stephens, Cook, Nines of Mulvanna, Flickworth, Jenkin, Holliman, Cunning, Darren Brady and Jeff Peacock off and running in the Super Streets. Paul Redmond leads us in to Pagal Connolly, Jeff Peacock on the outside. Will he run out of room? Oh, a little bit of push and shove between Holliman and Peacock. Peacock threads the needle. Look at him right on the outside around the whole field. He runs out around the hairpin. Meanwhile, Lee Stephens. Stephens has gone to the lead. Redmond runs in second. The former Queensland champion Justin Jenkin runs in third. Jeff Peacock has got problems. The ball says 74 and stops in the hairpin. Lee Stephens leads us up the main straight. Redmond, Jenkin, Nigel Mulvanna, Flickworth, Cook, Holliman, Brady, Cunning, Jason Rees, and Jeff Peacock gets the Cortina running. As the yellows are brought on. Restart time. Lee Stephens runs a little high. Paul Redmond up the inside. Stephens and Redmond side by side. Stephens got the upper hand on the outside. Jenkin and Mulvanna run third and fourth. Flickworth coming hard on the brakes. Into the hairpin. Peacock turns himself around. And now keeps on going on the main straight as Justin Jenkin has found some form. In the Gympie number 5, Redmond gets it crossed up and loses spot to Jenkin. Mulvanna also. Redmond up the inside and Nigel Mulvanna. Stephens up the main straight, away we go. Up over the mountain. Jenkin, Mulvanna up the inside of Redmond. Cook could make a move on the inside of Redmond also. Oh, Holliman into the side of Redmond. Nowhere to go. And that'll bring out the checkered flag. So Lee Stephens continue his good form to take out the final heat race for the Super Street Sedans. And if any drivers out there that haven't nominated Nominations will close tomorrow at 6 o'clock. If you need a nomination form, we do have some here. Go and see Patrina sitting in turn 1 somewhere, or come and see me or something like that. Modified Productions, Demolition Derby, Super Streets, Dwarf Car, Queensland Title, Division 1 and 2 Street Sedans and QSA Juniors. Lights are out. First feature race of the night. Super Streets, Lee Staffens and the former Queensland champ, Justin Jenkin. And the Gympie number 5 in the front row. Set for a start. Darren Brady on the second row, Nigel Morvetta. And off we go into Pagels for the first time. Oh, and turning around. All on his lonesome. And we'll keep going, Darren Brady. A long way back now. As a former Queensland number 1. Oh, as Peacock makes contact with the fence. No harm done, or has it? Janko leads us down the back straight. Lee Staffens in second. Peacock has been driving like a man possessed this weekend. From the back of the field up into third. Gives Lee Staffens a 1-4. Around the outside of the main straight through the dip. Up into Pagels corner. Look at Peacock working. Staffens over on the outside. Down through the kink. Jeff Peacock into second. Oh, but runs wide. He might be relegated back a spot. No, he won't. He keeps the boot in. Plenty of traction on the high side of the hairpin. For Jeff Peacock, who closes right up on the back of Justin Jenkin. Down into the hairpin. Once again for race leader Justin Jenkin. Jeff Peacock is right on the hammer. Oh, Jenkin, Rick Cunning get a little crossed up. Coming out of the hairpin. Scott Paul Redmond right in his bumper bar. Fleetworth got plenty of damage to the front of the Gympie number 3. And pulls the infield. Oh! Peacock. Jenkins, Devon. Making contact with each other out of the hairpin. Into the hairpin they go. And Jeff Peacock, your new race leader, comes up the main straight. And really getting plenty of speed. The Caboolture 74 Cortina. Jenkin closing in on Peacock at the front. Steffens won't go away. Oh, Peacock runs wide, Jenko. And Steffens, Peacock's got problems. Problems to the Caboolture 74. It has stopped in the hairpin. He's just under his own power. Hard luck. Oh, flat right rear for Jeff Peacock. Unlucky. Very unfortunate, but played right in the hands of the former Queensland champ, Justin Jenkins. Who has got Lee Staffens swarming and making him run right to the flag. About half race distance. As Steffens gets a little bit of contact between Jenkins and Steffens. Nigel Mulvanna and Steve Cook run third and fourth. Cunning in fifth, Redmond in sixth. Back to Hollyman, Brady and Rees. Stephens will be having trouble seeing over the bonnet. The Gympie number 4. Beautifully turned out Cortina. They come into the hairpin. Steve Cook swarming right over the back of Nigel Mulvena. No doubt about the former Queensland number 1. Unfortunately couldn't defend his Queensland title a couple of weeks ago, but is proving has still got plenty of speed. As he goes down to the hairpin once again, at least Evans dropped back a little. His vision would be next to nothing. Mulvena keeping Cook at bay. That's for 3rd and 4th. Cutting in 5th, Redmond. Hollyman. And Darren Brady, that's your field. As they roll around. Steve Cook getting up the inside of Mulvena. That's a hot battle for 3rd and 4th. Lee Stephens coming on a little better. Jenkins maybe coasting a little. I miss Steve Cook, who's got past Mulvena for 3rd. Stephens, can he make the pass for the win with only a couple to go? Stephens trying extremely hard. White flag coming out. Justin Jenkins, a lap to go. I don't think Stephens is close enough, but they come up on lap traffic. Into the hairpin they go, Stephens. Jenkins. Lap traffic, Justin Jenkins will win it. Lee Stephens for 2nd. Steve Cook home in 3rd, Nigel Mulvena. Great feature race, Rick Cunning. Into the hairpin, coming up the main straight. Well, finishing 5th, Paul Redmond, Darren Brady. What a battle, folks. Sensational race from the super streets. 20 lap green to checker, no problems. I'm no doubt very happy. Justin Jenkins, as he rolls around in the main straight. Put your hands together for Justin Jenkins. Well, well, well. Lights are out. David Kent to lead us away. Event 2 of the night. Division 1 Street Sedans. I'll be running a feature race tonight. And we're off and running. And David Kent, Alstrom on the outside, will go neck and neck into turn 1. Oh, David Kent turns around, and we got cars going every which way, and somehow they didn't touch. Great work, but we will have to stack them, pack them, and rack them. David Kent will start from the back. Doug Rigby moves up and will lead us away in the number 28 machine. Allstrom on the outside, and off and running we go on the Division 1 Street Sedans. A puff of smoke from one of the cars. Could be the Craig Franz, number 35. Off and running down the back straight we go. Nose to tail, not much in it, but it's Doug Rigby. Who's your race leader up the main straight? I'll put the first lap in the boxes. Vervaart spares the infield to number 20. Purple Cortina, Craig Franz. Plenty of smoke, or is it steam? Another race leader turns around. Phil Murphy joins him. The cars kept by and the race should continue. Walker up high. Stephen John Lathan, Walker will go to the lead. The drivers finding things a little greasy at the moment.
Get ready to go green here, Rhino. Another good support event coming your way. Back to you in the tower.
Thanks, mate. Here we go. Restart time. Stephen John Lathan. Allstrom on the outside. Watch for Walker in the number 7 to have a big run. Tries to get a good run. Craig Franz swarming all over the back. Walker up the inside. Allstrom pushing down. A little bit of biff and barge between the two into the hairpin. Stephen John Lathan, the 40, will lead us up past the boss. Phil Murphy. A slight touch. Onto the concrete, comes back down to Rigby. Craig Franz, a big move up the inside of Walker. Walker and Franz will go side by side. Walker's a little bit more mumbo. Down to the king, Timmy Aiken and Doug Rigby. Oh, turns around, contact. Results in 2 cars. And that'll bring on another yellow.
Mate, once again, the pressure of the night's playing on everybody. The top line event here brings out a fair bit of pressure in the support events as well, and these guys are really strutting their stuff nice and early. And of course, the hairpin, we're going to see a lot of fantastic action there all night long.
Certainly right. Okay, folks, here we go, restart time again. Oh, look at Allstrom, getting a little excited before the bell was rung. Lath lead descent, keep an eye on Walker and Franz, the battle for 3rd and 4th. Walker gets up the inside, look at the 2 Commodores. Oh, it could end in tears. However, they both yield a little. Keep an eye on the battle. A little hot under the collar perhaps, but it's Walker trying to chase down your leader of Stephen John Lathan, who's out in front. Allstrom in 2nd. Walker, Franz, keep an eye on Aiken. The red and white machine further back, so too David Kent as they're trying to make the run through the field. Lathan's got a good run and has opened up 4 or 5 lengths back to 2nd as Craig Franz gets the nose of the Falcon. Up the inside for 3rd, and he'll make it stick. Walker will try to slingshot back up the inside. Franz is aware of it and closes the door. And he'll move up into 3rd. Through the hairpin they go. Lathan comes past, puts another lap down. Timmy Aiken up the inside of Walker. That's for 4th. And Aiken is on a mission in the 15. Through Pagels they go, Franz with a look up the inside of the Commodore of Bjorn Allstrom. A little touch to let him know he's there. The Caboolture car running a good line in 2nd. A couple of laps to go for our race leader, Stephen John Lathan, who's out in front. Franz runs high this time. He'll try to sneak up the inside with some momentum. Or he'll stay the outside and get it done on the outside. Oh, what a move on the outside. Doesn't make it work. Alstrom runs high. Timmy Aiken will go Yubiote. And he'll get up the inside. Oh, look at the contact between the two. White flag out. Timmy Aiken got it crossed up. Gets a touch from Franz. And that... Oh, Aiken keeps it going. Have a go at these two. Checkered flag, meanwhile, Zahle the win. Aiken, what a drive from the back to second. Franz the third, Alstrom, Walker, David Kent, Murphy, Nottage, and Vervaat. Oh, how about that, folks? Well, you never know. Maybe an interval. We'll get the... or Mr. Whippy caravan race. Get the generator flying around up the back.
I think the only thing faster than Mark Raymont's 19-second lap would be the 15 seconds I'd inhale on that Sunday in.
Yes, indeed. Okay, lights are out. Division 1 Street Sedans, event 12. Aiken. Leads us away. Vervaat, David Kent going high side, and the wet brings us together. We've got a couple of cars stacked up together. Doug Rigby, one of them, Stephen John Louth, and Phil Murphy. Lights are out, and we're going green. Something's rubbing the Stephen John Louth cars, and I think the tyre popped as they went past. Off and running. Look at David Kent with a run on the outside, runs out of room. Vervaat goes the infield and will come back out a long way down on the field. Timmy Aiken leads us up for the first lap of the books. David Kent, look at Christian Walker around the outside of Kent. Alan Nottage and Craig Franz run fourth and fifth. Doug Rigby up the inside of Anthony Vervaat. Milt Alstrom spins himself around in the hairpin and will have them all in front of him. Timmy Aiken down the back straight he goes. Christian Walker and David Kent hot onto the heels. Can they chase? Down the Gympie flyer out in front. Timmy's got that car working nicely. Christian Walker. Back to David Kent. As Doug Rigby makes slight contact. The back straight wall. Craig Franz still in fifth. Phil Murphy with a big move with a Falcon up the inside of Vervaat. But turns himself around in front of Vervaat and the race will continue. Through the hairpin they go and up to the main straight. And Alstrom turns himself around once again, coming out of Pagels and backs onto the infield. Oh, Timmy Aiken, plenty of smoke out of the race leader's car. They come out of the hairpin that time. His car is slowing. As Rigby gets right up the infield. Challenging Craig France for position. White flag out for Timmy. Craig France up the inside of Alan Nottage. Nottage fighting back on the outside. A bit of a push. Allows Craig France to get on the inside. Nottage fight back. Atkins wins. Walker home in second. David Kent third. Craig France will hang on to fourth. Alan Nottage. Doug Rigby, the next one across the line. Alstrom, Vervat and Murphy. A 19.875 by Glenn Pagel. And the fifth fastest lap of the night, a 19.889 by Paul Hussey. As a matter of fact, 7 cars into the 19-second bracket. Christian Walker, Craig France will lead us away on the Division 1 Street Sedans. Craig France around the outside of Walker. Timmy Aiken runs in third. Nottage, Rigby and David Kent. That's your top 6. Craig France, your leader. Through the hairpin, Walker going under attack by the 15 at Timmy Aiken. And the K&N Auto Parts Commodore. Walker runs high, keeps the boot in to the Commodore. The new version on the inside. It'll be a brake test into the hairpin. Aiken hangs on to it a little. Now I'll try the inside as David Kent turns around, reduces the 360 for the fans in the hairpin up on the stands. Walker runs high again. Atkins trying to get the nose, the Commodore up the inside. The Gympie number 7. Craig France still your leader. Walker in second, Aiken in third. Nottage back to Rigby. The actions for second and third. Walker running the higher line. Aiken has a big Captain Chook up the inside. Walker closes the door. Be a drag race up the main straight. And the two go side by side, a slight touch between the two. Walker persisting with the high line, but he'll go back a position. Will he try to switch back and go to the inside this time? Timmy Aiken holds his line, covers his tracks and tries to keep it at bay. He'll do it. Can young Timmy chase down Craig France? As the laps start to count down. France leads, but for how long? Craig France has got plenty of work cut out for him. White flag comes out. 1 lap to go. The Sunshine Coast 35. Craig France, your leader, Timmy Aiken. Swarming all over the back. The Falcon runs a little high. Here comes Timmy. France closes the door. France will make the Falcon as wide as he can up the main straight. And France will get it done. Timmy Aiken home in second. Christian Walker, the next one across the line in third. Alan Nottage to Doug Rigby, David Kent, and here to get another car. Figure of 8 time in the hairpin for the punters in the stands. boys. We might send them on their way this time round. Aiken, Craig, Franz, Walker, Kent, Nottage. Rigby, Anthony Vervart. And Stephen John Lath has gone out in the Datsun. Often running, Aiken leads us down the back straight. Walker, Franz, David Kent with a move up the inside of Franz, doesn't make it work. David Kent actually gets up Franz. Kent gets in the back of Walker. No harm done. And the race continues. Timmy Aiken got a good solid lead after a couple of the first lap. Down through the kink they go. Walker runs in second. Kent. Timmy Aiken still leads us on the main straight. Walker, Kent, Craig, Franz up into the side of Kent and turns the 55 around. Alstrom and Nottage, Vervart, cars in all directions. Here we go, folks. Down the back straight away we go. Timmy Aiken, your leader. Walker chasing hard in the 7. Kent, Alstrom, Nottage. Back to Doug Rigby. Craig Franz on a mission from the back. Timmy Aiken looks strong out in front. Through the hairpin they go. Rigby and Lath. A battle further back. But Timmy Aiken leads. Oh, Timmy Aiken gets crossed up. Comes back in a second position. And Walker is your race leader through the hairpin. Up they come past the boss. And Walker leads. Timmy Aiken in second. Kent back in third. Walker runs a little wide out of the hairpin. Aiken closes right up. The battle for first and second. Into the hairpin they go. Walker got the hammer down up the hill. And Timmy can't find a way past at the moment. Through Pagels they go. The two Gympie cars go hammer and tong out in front. The lap's starting to count down. Walker. Jimmy. Trying a big move on the race. Gets the car a little unsettled. Tries to get up the inside, but Walker got the mumbo in the straight line. Down through the kink to go. Into the hairpin, hard on the brakes. Walker, that's a better tighter line. Through the hairpin. Aiken trying hard on his hammer to find a way past to get back into the race lead. The Division 1 Street Sedan feature race, Timmy Hagan right up on the hammer. Walker and Aiken the battle for first and second. Down the back straight away they go. Oh, Aiken a slight touch in the rear quarter of Walker. Into the hairpin. It's a good battle for first and second. Aiken would have read every single sticker on the back of Walker. Nottage gets out of the road and lets him through. Down through the kink and into the hairpin. Young Timmy can't find a way past the moment. Walker gets crossed up. Aiken not close enough to mount a challenge. Or is he? A couple of laps to go in this one. Walker driving the wheels of the Commodore down through the kink. They come up on Anthony Vervaert. They put him a lap down, white flag will come out. 1 lap to go for Walker. Timmy having a look. Having a bigger look up the inside. Be a drag race down the back straight. Walker hanging on to it. Hairpin checkered, flag waving. And Walker will win it. Timmy Aiken for second. David Kent and Craig Franz. Oh, but what a drive out in front. He got his opportunity and come home with a bacon. Put your hands together.
Clothes on. Yeah, actually, Diane wants to know, if she's got all those clothes on, does that make her ass look big?
No comment.
And you're a brave man if you answer it.
No comment. Big Pete scares me, Wes. He's a big man.
Yeah, no, I'm more frightened of Diane.
Oh dear.
Hang on, has Pete got his... Is Pete sitting on his bin up there? G'day, Pete, how you going?
Hey, Pete, bring me an ice cream later. Okay. Division 2 Street Sedans. Off and running, Tegan Jennings, she got a cracker. Al Hughes up the inside, but Jennings will have the run through Pagels and down into the hairpin for the first time. Young Tegan Jennings, a race leader, Alan Hughes. Sits in second, Humphreys, Jers. Matt Rigby, the next one on track. Mackenzie. And Darren Lyon, nose to tail. Single file, Indian file, as I like to say, as Tegan Jennings leads us into the hairpin. Alan Hughes in the 88, trying to chase down one of the local girls, young Tegan, who stepped up this season from the junior ranks into Division 2, and she is certainly handling herself very well. Alan Hughes trying to make some impressions on her, but he can't. At the moment, he's a little stronger on brakes that time. And up the main straight we go. Jennings from Hughes, Jers up into third, Trent Humphreys, another former junior, runs in fourth, in front of Matt Rigby. Mackenzie all the way back to Lyon, who must have problems in the 23. Bit of biff and barge between Rigby and Humphreys. As Rigby has a look up the inside of Humphreys for fourth. Ford versus Holden down the back straight into the hairpin. Rigby has a look up the inside of Humphreys. Humphreys holds his line. A little bit of left hand down. Trying to shut the door, but Rigby's got the goods. And will move up into fourth. Meanwhile, Tegan Jennings, still your race leader from Hughes. Shane Jers runs in third and nice and slippery. Oh, Rigby overcooks things in Pagels. His hard work undone. Will go back to the back. Another lap in the books for Tegan Jennings, Hughes, Jers, Humphreys. Shane Jers down into the King. One lap to go for Jennings. Through Pagels she goes. Unchanged. Through the kink and into the hairpin for the final time. The Gympie Land Rover spares. And number 23 of Tegan Jennings. She will drive up. And nearly put the mockers on her and she will win Heat 1 of the Division 2 Street Sedans. Alan Hughes, look at the pump of the fist from Tegan. Into the cockpit of the 23, St. Jers home for third. Trent Humphreys. Mark McKenzie was aiming up the pit goddess on the infield. And the Super Sedan will just run around for a couple of hot laps. Hey, what's Chris Elbert at the wheel tonight in the 77, or is Dempsey in that tonight?
He's got another big gut full of methanol here like he did at Toowoomba, and I thought I might have to revive him then. I thought I might give him the kiss of life, and no, if I had to do that, it's going to be terrible. Green light, mate.
Thanks, mate. Off and running. Lavity leads us into the dip for the first time. Laird turns around, so does Lavity. Cars every which way, they get around the outside, and we might be able to keep the race going. No, we can't. Yellows are on. Up they come to greet with the green light. Trevor Oxham got a better run on the outside. Lavity fighting back on the inside of the new Falcon. The Cortina on the outside. Look at Jessica Raymond on the outside of James Elliott, Brett Baxter. Oh, Luke Lyeth parks it in front of some fans on the way into the back straight. Gives them a wave. And we'll do that again. Here we go again. Lavity pushes Oxham high a little, but the Cortina's got a better run. Green flag, off and running. And the one they like to call Spud, James Elliott gets up the inside, but gets it crossed up and turns himself around. Jessica Raymond is up in a second. Green light will stay on. Raymond turns herself around and will go to the back. Oxham, your leader, Brett Baxter's coming. Lavity runs in third, Darren Lyon. Then Gary Harris, Layeth, Jessica Raymond and James Elliott. Look at the battle up in front. Old versus new. And the Commodore. Oh, Brad Baxter is your race leader into Pagel Corner. Redcliffe, Ford Rackus, Machina, Trevor Oxham since in second position. Lavity, Darren Lyon to Harris, Layeth, Raymond. And James Elliott rounds out your field. Brett Baxter is flying out in front. Raymond has turned herself around again in the hairpin. Could be problems with the 30, unusual to be not going well. Trevor Oxham goes to the infield, tests his steering, but keeps it going at the Cortina, runs in second. Brett Baxter has got a big lead. Comes into the hairpin, we'll see the Cortina. We'll have Jessica Raymond in front of him as he will try to put a lap down. Oxham runs in second, Laverty. Darren Lyon, a slight touch on the fence. A slight touch in the back of the Laverty machine. Gets him mixed up a little. Past the boss to go. Oxham gets crossed up and will lose his second place to Darren Lyon. White flag out for Baxter. He's got one lap of the Mother Mountain Circuit to go. Lyon sits in second, the A1 exhaust Commodore. A Redcliffe Ford Wreckers machine of Oxham in third. Laverty back to Harris. Check it, flag ready. And Baxter will win it at a canter. Darren Lyons will hang on. For second, Laverty gets crossed up. We'll go back a few positions. Oxham home in third, Harris home in fourth. Laverty, Delayeth and Jessica Raymond, that's how they will finish.
And get them on and get a chance to have a talk to some of the recruiting officers up there. There really is a big opportunity for you in the Defence Force.
Sent for a start. Luke Layath and Alan Hughes will lead us away. Nice and wet on the low line. It'll force the drivers to drive a little higher. Alan Hughes out high, but look at Brett Baxter up the inside. It'll go to the lead. Oh, Luke Layath fighting back on the outside. Brett Baxter's got the run. And I think it'll be a case of catch me if you can. James Elliott running the low line up the inside of Alan Hughes, Tegan Jennings, Mark McKenzie. And the Darren Lyon car. Out there also, Brent Baxter is your leader. Up the main straight we go. Layath, Elliott, Hughes, Jennings, McKenzie. James Elliott looking for an inside move on Layath through Pagels. Layath running on the outside. James Elliott running low side still. Layath. Layath runs a little high. And James Elliott closes on once again. Hard on the brakes. James Elliott might have a run this time. The two cars get crossed up. The power to the ground, and James Elliott will take second position. Luke Layath running very high. James Elliott brings up the dust. He's a couple of metres on the infield that time through. Layath fighting back on the outside. Tries a slingshot, crisscross move. All it does is send him up to the fence. Tries to climb up over the cement. You're not gonna get it done like that, son. Brent Baxter, your runaway leader at the moment. James Elliott. Luke Layath, Hughes. Oh, Layath crossed up, stops at the end on the pole line. Rolls to the infield. White flag will come out for Brad Baxter. Tegan Jennings up the inside of Alan Hughes. He fights back. Mark McKenzie wants in on the action. Brett Baxter wins it. Out of trot that time, Mark McKenzie. I don't know what he's doing up in Pagel's corner. He's driving around in circles. James Elliott home in second. Alan Hughes, Tegan Jennings. And that is how they finish. It was too good on the Gympie number 5. Already entered. And don't forget about the Queensland title for the Dwarf cars, over 20. And the Dwarf cars be a massive night on June 16. Early racing from 4 o'clock. 50 events on the program. But will turn our attention as the lights go out. Division 2 Street Sedans about to get underway. Darren Lyon. Matt Rigby on the front row, Lavity Oxham, Humphreys, Jers, Raymont and Harris. Heat 4 for the Division 2 Street Sedans. Plenty of wheel spin at the start of this one. Rigby leads us into Pagel corner for the first time. Oxham running the high side, Lyon. Runs mid-track, Shane Jers, Lavity, everyone's lined up for a crack. They bog down in the slop in the hairpin corner. Rigby, left and right. Plenty of wheel spin. Jers and Lyon make contact. Oh, the race leader turns around. Oh, Jers makes contact with Rigby on the way down. And now Jers and Lyon are side by side into the hairpin. Meanwhile, Trevor Oxham's your race leader. And it's pretty messy further back. Lyon sneaks a job around the outside on Jers. Jessica Raymont looking for the outside pass. Jers has got problems. Flat inside tyre. Front inside tyre on the Shane Jers Falcon. Cortina of Trevor Oxham, your race leader. Up the mountain we go, and past the boss man. Lions from Jessica Raymont. Humphreys, Lavity, and Harris. Lavity makes contact and spin Humphreys around. The race continues for Trevor Oxham. Lyon, a slime push. Pushes the car a little high. Raymond closes up a little. Humphrey sits and watches the rest of the field go by. Oxnam leads us up once again. Lyon in second, Raymond runs in third. And the yellows are brought on. Lights will go green, and they do. The Cortina leads us away. Lavity all over the back of Raymont for third and fourth. Lyon gets a good run out of Pagel's corner. But Trevor Oxham, the Cortina, holds him at bay. Jessica Raymont has a look up the inside. Very slippery. Still on the race circuit with a couple of laps to go. Lavity trying the outside move, that's brave. Runs into Lion. Gives Lion a hurry up down the back straight. Oh, we got problems. Lavity and Raymond hit at the kink. And I believe Lavity will be sent rear of the field, and that will clear the Heat 4 of the Division 2 Street Sedans. Got some fantastic still available and wonderful sponsors at the canteens. Go and get something to warm the belly. Street sedan action about to get underway. Jerson Baxter and Brett Baxter, I'm sure won't be getting sick of being at the front of his heat races, and there he goes again. It's the Cortina of Alan Hughes, cops a hit from Lionel McKenzie. Jers sits in second. Lavity now trying for a look around the outside of McKenzie, who gets very crossed up down on the low line where all the water is. Can he keep it straight? He's fighting the wheel. Baxter. Oh, do you see Lions get into the back of Hughes? Have a go with that. Didn't unsettle him. Maybe it did. He'll know someone's there. And Darren Lyon will move up a position into third. Lavity runs high. Oh, hard to the brakes. Moves up a position. Oh, look at Lavity. Oh, on the brakes and turns it into the fence. And that will probably bring on the yellows, and it does. Brett Baxter. And the Gympie number 5, the DB sheds. Commodore leads, changes into Pagel's corner. Hughes, Harris, McKenzie and Lavity. Lavity running the high side. Gets around McKenzie and sets out after. Gary Harris, the big Falcon. Baxter from Jers. Hughes, Harris, Lavity and McKenzie. Look at Lavity going to the outside again. He's got a lot of faith in the Falcon. He don't mind if you do, he'll take 2. Up into third. Oh, he's out nearly on the verge of out of control. Oh, look at him go. Up into third. Meanwhile, Brett Baxter still circulating very, very quickly out in front. Jers, Lavity, Harris, Hughes and McKenzie. White flag will come out this time round for Brett Baxter. Shane Jers still runs in second. Lavity, Harris, Hughes and McKenzie. Have a look. That Lavity runs nice and high and through the dip. Jers runs a little wide. Lavity won't be close enough to challenge. Maybe he will hard on the brakes. Jers might have a problem. Baxter wins the heat. Jers second. Lavity, Harris, Hughes and McKenzie. That's how they finish. Dolphin Racing. And James Elliott leads us through Pagel's corner. Oh, Humphreys, Jessica Raymond gets the lead, but the yellows come on. And we'll do it all again. Matt Rigby will lead us up the mountain. The green light will send us on our way, but James Elliott will fight hard on the outside of the Falcon. Oh, cuts across in front of Matt Rigby, who's got problems. May have cut down a time or broken some suspension in the front. On the Gympie 28, Commodore James Elliott turns around and Jessica Raymond. Here goes Yulbiote, and I go to the lead. Off she goes. And she'll be hard to catch in this one. Tegan Jennings runs in second. Got Trevor Oxham. Oh, look at the two. Oxham trying hard to get up the inside of Jennings. Humphreys, Layeth. Still Jessica Raymond out in front. Got 6 or 7 lengths back to Tegan Jennings. Humphreys. Oxham, Layeth, Elliott. And the Darren Lyon car. Jessica Raymond streaking away at the front of this one. They're doing it for the girls out in front of this one. Jessica and Tegan are run in the Cornella at the moment. White flag comes out for Raymond this time round. She's driving sensational in the Cortina. Tegan Jennings under attack from Trent Humphreys. Raymond wins it easily. And the girls will go 1-2. Tegan Jennings home in second. Trent Humphreys for third. Oxham Elliott Layeth. And the Darren Lyon car.
I snuck in, all right? I haven't been, but I've...
We'll go on flashing yellow. Oh, we'll do it this time round, folks. Rigby and Elliott, off we go. Ford versus Holden on the front row. The Holden fans are happy. Into Pagel's corner for the first time. Humphreys and Lyon giving each other a stick. The two are side by side. That's a third and fourth down to the Kanken in the hairpin. Rigby, your leader, holds his line. James Elliott giving him a hurry up. He's saying, get down to my road. The Falcons are coming through. Rigby gets a wriggle on. Up the main straight's got a car length and a half. Back to James Elliott. The Elliott Falcon got through the top corner a little better. Look at Darren Lyon hard on the brakes. Up the inside of Humphreys for third. Jessica Raymond back there in fifth. She gets up the inside of the Cortina. Humphreys shuts the door in her face. Switches back to the outside. Humphreys going high side. Raymond up the inside. Won't get it done. Darren Lyon a little crossed up. Oh, the medal for third, fourth and fifth. He's frantic to say the least. James Elliott, who was the aggressor, will now be defensive with a 23 black machine. Oh, Darren Lyon, Rodney's Emma. Matt Rigby out in front at the moment, up the main straight he goes. Oh, it gets it crossed up. Lyon gets the nose, the Commodore up the inside. Oh, Lyon gives him a little touch, pushes him out the road. Oh, look at the two. Try to put each other in the fence. Humphreys could be the beneficiary. Oh, but all at Elliott. If he was any more on the infield, he'd be on the other corner. Oh, it turns around. And we'll keep on going green. Matt Rigby through the kink and into the hairpin. It's a leader by a long way. Darren Lyon in second. Jessica Raymond runs in third. Humphreys McKenzie. And James Elliott goes to the infield. Down to the king they go. The checkered flag will come out. And Matt Rigby will win it at an absolute walk. Oh, last corner, Jessica Raymond gets up the inside. She'll take second. Darren Lyon for third. Humphreys. Mark McKenzie next one home. And that's heat 7 for the Division 2 Street Sedans. Good drive by the man out in front. Thanks to Coates High once again. And of course our major sponsor for the Queensland title, Defence Jobs. I'll make sure you go and see them about joining or doing a trade with them. The Navy, the Air Force. Off and running, Brett Baxter on the outside of Tegan Jennings. He was in sensational form last night. And here he goes again in the Gympie number 5, DB Sheds Commodore. Tegan Jennings may have problems after contact with the cement wall. Scott Williams is the driver of the Darren Lyon number 23 black Commodore, the A1 exhaust machine. Scotty Williams and Russell Cowley at the back. Restart time. Off and running, Brett Baxter, as he's done so many times before, straight to the front. The young 17-year-old resides in Gympie, straight to the front. And leads us into the hairpin. In front of Shane Jers, Oxham, Gillard, Hughes. It's snail pace on the slippery conditions here on the mountain. In heat number 8 of Division 2 Street Sedans. A fantastic division for you to get into, to learn the craft before you step into modified productions. Super Sedans or whatever your choice. Baxter still leads us up past the boss for the second time. Jers in second, Oxham, Gillen, Oh, Brett Baxter, a slight touch in the cement as he come out of the hairpin, no harm done. Jers still runs in second. The Ford Wreckers are Redcliffe Cortina. Oxham runs in third. Jers runs a little high. Oxham having a look on the inside. Jers covers his tracks. In the Highway 1 Falcon. Jers pushes out. A little high out of the hairpin. Oxham still sitting there. Brendan Gillen in the 29 and then Alan Hughes. Scotty Williams trying hard. Oh, Brett Baxter gets it crossed up once again. Hang on to it, son. Out in front, pushing very hard in the slippery conditions. Jers gets it really crossed up. Oxham trying to push him into the fence. Not going to work as Jers holds his position in second. Baxter running a little high at the hairpin. That's a little better this time up the main straight away. Half a lap behind. The Ford Wreckers Redcliffe Cortina gets up the inside of the Falcon of Shane Jers. Oh, Scotty Williams loses a little bit more position on the racetrack and loses a lap to the race leader, Brett Baxter. Jers and Oxham in a big ding-dong battle. Look at these two on the main straight. The Cortina will be dreaming about the colour scheme of Jersey. Can't get around. Nearly goes the outside. The Cortina on the high side for second. Brett Baxter wins the race. Oxham comes into the hairpin. Runs high. Jers will try to stick it up the inside. Gets no traction. And Trevor Oxham gets second in Heat 8. Jers high for third. Brendan Gillen, Alan Hughes. This one. And then the main event. The Defence Jumps Queensland Modified Production title. You have a look through some of the winners. Have a look at the Gympie drivers that have won. This just through. Daryl Etherton has done a gearbox and will not take his place in tonight's A-Main. The first reserve, John O'Collins, will take the final spot in tonight's feature race. Hard luck to Etherton and his crew. The green flag, we're off and running. Brett Baxter leads us through Pagel's corner. Tegan Jennings pointing the wrong way in the dip. But down to the hairpin. We go for the first time in the Division 2 Street Sedan final. A little messy. As Doug Rigby goes to the infield to contact with just about everyone. Does a fantastic job and lets her in. And we will get underway. Green flag drops and we're up and running. A little bit of contact between James Elliott and Mark McKenzie at the back of the field. Brett Baxter leads us away. Oxham runs in second, Jessica Raymond in third. But it's all the DB Sheds Commodore and Brett Baxter. 4 to Redcliffe Cortina. Oxham under attack from Jessica Raymond. Here comes Doug Rigby with a big move up the inside of Raymond for third. Can't get it done, Raymond. And Rigby side by side. Raymond loses out, and that is Shane Jers. Moves up into fourth. Rigby to third. Raymond back around the outside of Jers. Moves up into fourth. And will try to get a position back. As we have a couple of cars turned around in the hairpin and plenty of debris in front of us right here up the mountain in front of a big crowd. Brent Baxter lead us away. Can anyone catch him? The Cortina of Oxham running very high, trying the outside move. The Commodore's got too much power. Oxham gets in the back of Baxter, trying to unsettle the young fella who leads of tonight's feature race. Oh, Mackenzie and Humphreys. Contact Brendan Gillen, gets further up. Matt Rigby is right onto the tail of Brent Baxter. Raymond up into third. And will try to chase down the Cortinas out in front. Baxter runs a little high. Rigby's right on his tail. James Elliott, Darren Lyon and Shane Jers exchanging plenty of paint further back in the field. Baxter still leads. Rigby from Raymond. More Shane Jers turns himself right around. That'll bring on the yellows. And we will stack the field right back up again. And we're off and running. And Brent Baxter leads us away. Rigby in second. Raymond Elliott lines up the inside of Oxham. Oh, the Cortina up into the back of Shane Jers. And the two cars locked together. Restart time, Baxter to lead us away. Green light, and we're off and running. Raymond looking for a little bit more traction higher up on race service to get around the Commodores out in front of Baxter and Rigby. James Elliott in the Falcon. Got the nose up the inside of Jessica. As Elliott gets into the right quarter of Raymond, and she goes back a few positions. Oh, under brakes, big move by Raymond. who's back into third. Darren Lyon, Tegan Jennings, James Elliott. James Elliott just about turns himself around, loses a couple of position as Trent Humphreys gets past and is on a move. Brett Baxter from Rigby. Oh, trouble! Oh, he got all sorts of trouble on the main straight. And the checkered flag will come out. And the boss man says, that'll do, pig. So Brett Baxter will win tonight's feature race. From Matt Rigby and Jessica Raymond back in third. Put your hands together for him. The Gympie number 5, the DB Sheds Commodore Brett Baxter.